We're back. Haven't played this since October. Don't really remember where I was. I've been itching to play it and haven't really turned it on. I know Jaden checked it out for a few minutes and I had to step out because he went to a different world than I went to and I didn't want to spoil myself or anything. Alright. So, let's see if I can remember my controls. I can do the spinny thing. The thing I spent most of the last stream trying to learn how to do is how to jump after my hats, which is LY while the hat's in the air. Okay, I can do that, okay. Yeah, it's going to take me a while to catch up on the schedule. I think I remember how to play this game. Basically the same general Mario controls, but with hat throwing magic. Can I make the hat spin? Wow, alright. I feel like I was having trouble with doing that last time. Is there anything to do over here? You're kidding me. Alright, that's a good opening. Is this just like an Easter egg? Oh, it's just a place to change hats and stuff. Okay, well that's neat. I'll keep the Mario Maker costume on for now, it looks cool. It's like a... They have the little cutscenes with the Cappy character in here, right? Kind of reminding you about some control stuff. Hat spin's a little tricky. The hat jump is the thing that took me a minute to figure out what they wanted me to do with it. I think I get it now. We've collected enough power moons. We can make our way to the next kingdom now. Yeah, okay. I'll go ahead and get this one, I guess. Or I'll see if I can find it, and then we can go to the next area. I did quite a lot of this zone, if I recall. Like, I did that, slip-sliding racing area. That was neat. I forget if this was the case last time we played. Are there actual rewards for getting different gear? Like, does having gear equipped unlock the ability to get certain moons? Or is it just aesthetic? Classic rabbit chase here. Where'd he go? Andrew has been replaying Spyro 3, which has a lot of rabbit chase-like segments that are really, really tricky. Okay, so I can't trick him. I gotta pretty much stay right in front of him. Can I get him with my hat, though, is the question. Yeah, totally can. Nice. Dinner doing another drug study? Do you know what the drug is? How much does that pay? Feels like not a bad deal. I thought I saw coins back here. Nice. Try getting paid for trucks. You need some clothes to get certain moons. Yeah, so I think I needed the sombrero to get one in the desert planet, right? I guess not desert area. This is all earthbound. Catch a fish. Oh, did I move too fast and scare away the fish? Must have. I think it's just the big one that I want. Yeah, that guy right there. So how do I not spook him? Come here. You know you want it. Oh, that's cool, Darkstar. English lessons. Oh yeah? It's like a translation site? Yeah, I wonder how you make sure that that's a good deal, you know? Like, if you do something like Amazon Mechanical Turk, you're gonna have a bad time. Alright. It was a Cheep with a moon in it. Perfect. Alright. I love that this game just gives you the moons and lets you keep playing. That's, like, the best. Nintendo's gotten really good. They've kind of spent the Wii era awkward teenage years as a company. They're already, you know, pretty established before the Wii, but they kind of realize, here are all the things we shouldn't do. Let's not hold the player's hand too much. Let's not have excessive cutscenes. Let's let the game play and not keep interrupting you with stupid crap. UI elements. Just give me strength. Interesting. This is that tricky platforming I keep hearing about, huh? Yeah, nice. I don't need any of these moons. You could triple jump in water? That doesn't seem right. There we go. Alright. I literally just wanted to get those 5 little mini moon tokens around the level that I'm finding myself doing the entire stage now. There's another one off in the center. Let's see if there's one up here. Moons are their own reward. That's true. I definitely like that about this game. That's 3. Don't freeze to death! Everything's fine, nothing is ruined. Jiminy jeez. Coins don't restore health in this game, right? There's a separate resource. Hearts? Yeah, there we go. I really like the coin and purple coin system in this game. It's a clever solution to the go to a specific stage that's optimized for farming. And it's a way to give you smaller mini rewards in each stage. To 100% this game, do you need to get all the purple coins in every level? Oh, that's a pretty good deal, Prop. Right on. I'll look into that. Okay, so there's one more. One more little moon token, and then we can go check out the next level. See if I can find it. Hooray, lack of falling damage. I made a big mistake during the hiatus. I let myself get excited for the rumors about the Dark Souls 1 HD remake for the Switch, and it didn't happen. I've gotten really good at not letting myself, not falling for hype or getting too excited for things, avoiding news, but I read that and it was everything I ever wanted. It totally didn't happen. Oh, don't tell me I just gave up all 4 of those moon tokens by walking in this door. I did! Yay! Thank you, Mario Odyssey, for being kind and not cruel. Alright. Where is the last moon? I got some of those coins. It might be that box thing over there. There's also an area on the ledge here that I haven't explored. This is a really good game, just across the board. I'm really impressed by it, in general. We all have moments of weakness. Oh, nice. Sornus, I probably already asked you this and forgot your answer. Like, how is the new Monster Hunter game for the PS4? Is it good? Everything we all dreamed it would be and more? I'm gonna see if I can spot this thing from afar. Some toad wouldn't help me. I've already checked back there. There's some purple coins there. Wouldn't be up there. I also have no way to get up there, as far as I can tell, right? Unless if there's something I can possess that I'm forgetting about trying out here. That guy's got a hat, so... Ah, fancy. Can this make him float up further? No? Okay. This might be my way to see my way around the stage. Shake the Joy-Con a little harder. Andrea was considering doing math or physics tutoring in town for a comparable pay. The only problem is this might be the one town in America where it's going to be a lot of competition if you want to be a math or physics tutor, right? Good chunk of the town are physicists. Finally found my thing here. I'll wait for this guy to finish blowing. Nice. Open beta was fun. Nice. Can you... So I've tried to avoid most information about it. Can you give me like a condensed list of some of the changes? Just hit points, things like that, right, Sornus? Alright, that was the thing that I said I would get and then leave the stage, so I'm going to commit to what I said I would do, even though I want to get all the moons on the level. Yeah, so like if I had the parka from this level, would it keep me from getting frozen in the water, or is that just a constant effect of being in the zone? Damage numbers map's not divided into segments. I'm hoping it feels like it has a more consistent multiplayer experience. It's still kind of instanced gameplay though, like all the other games, Diablo. I also don't want to be playing this game forever. I look forward to beating it so I can just explore and get all the extra moons off stream. So that would be my reason for skipping stuff now, I think. Hey, PK Ratchet, how you doing? Okay, don't impose realism on a Mario game. You're gonna have a bad time. Oh, I wish I had the cat cam set up. Ben is currently sleeping down by one of my lights, and Marty's sleeping on the power brick. So hopefully he doesn't hit the switch and turn everything off. They like to sleep down there because it's warm. Frosted cake at the wedding. Now, was I supposed to do a little side quest back in the ice level that I skipped? Was that what the quest arrow was pointing to? I might need to go back there, because you have to get the little wedding pieces everywhere, right? For eating cats. Yeah. New Talk City. Yeah. That is an ostentatious octopus. Oh man! So everybody talks like an Animal Crossing character in this game. Sparkle water. Okay. Not champagne, sparkle water. Got it, Nintendo. Yeah. This is a really pretty zone. I'd say that about every zone in the entire game. These guys are supposed to be French snails. Nintendo. There you get excused for national stereotypes. Sparkle water. No worries at all, PK Ratchet. Thanks for being around 4 months later. I really appreciate it. Plugged up the fountains, wasn't messing around. Okay, button. Got it, Roger. Yeah, right. Ooh. That's cool. Alright, learned a lesson. Whoa, that's pretty rad. Oh, this game is super cool. I was talking about this in Discord, but I feel like Mario Odyssey is less about, like, the main game, the core game of just get enough moons to beat it, is less about really challenging platforming and getting lost and more about discovery and just like, oh man, what does this ability do? You know? What is possessing this character going to be like? What's the design space? What kind of puzzles can they make me do? And usually the solution's pretty obvious. You don't usually get stuck in this game. So it's more of like a slow, constant drip of dopamine hits to your brain instead of the occasional really big hit. Owie! you've got lava on your head and you're spitting spiky blocks. It's great. Haha, no worries, Propagable. Healing's a gradual thing like Dark Souls 2. If you hit while it's happening, healing stops. Oh. That's cool. I like that. I think that Hollow Knight has my favorite model of healing in a game that I've played. Where it's potentially unlimited, but it's gated by how aggressive you're willing to be as a player. You regenerate the resource you use to heal by attacking. So if you're overly turtly, you can't heal. It's a really interesting risk versus reward proposition. Oh, do I have to be in water to be able to keep the bubble? That's cool. Nice. Alright. It's a cool way to kind of gate your progress through the stage and make sure you remain in consistent contact with the water. What's your deal? Go away. Don't need that, but I'll take it. Oh yeah, I'd love a new Sunshine game. I'm hopeful that a lot of the work they did doing HD remakes on the Wii U, they carry some of that over to the Switch. I mean, it's Nintendo, so I'm going to have to pay for all of it again, unfortunately. But in a lot of cases, I think I would, just because the Switch is such a convenient system to have. I would not punish Nintendo at all for their greediness. Got it. Right, remaster. You're right. Not really a remake. The less I have to drag out my Wii U, the better, though, I guess is what I'm saying. Only a fish could make it all the way. Okay, good looking out. Are there... There are. I just have to find a way to jump over that. Yeah, so I already did the first Shadow of the Colossus. So the Shadow of the Colossus one is actually a remake, it's not another remaster. I'm curious what all they're going to change. Thanks, D-Rock. How you been? Alright, there we go. No worries, Sornus, thanks. What you've said has me pretty intrigued. I like the way this game builds on certain things. That we spend a pretty significant part of the other water level learning about using cheap-cheeps to dive, so we don't have to repeat a lot of that. God. Can they not have... Oh, these things are they were terrifying in Mario 64, and they're terrifying now. PS4 is mostly from the ground out. Cool. I hope they can nail the feel of the original. Shadow of the Colossus is one of my go-to arguments for games as art. It's just amazing. You're just being wishful and talking about a 1,000 Year Door remake, right? That would be super swell. Oh god. Please don't die. I wonder, can I get some hearts? Sweet. Haha! Alright. Probably could bail out of this cheap so I can break those boxes. Nothing special, huh? Yeah, right. They made it worse by making them look more realistic. I like how they both give you the cheap and the bubbles in here. And I mentioned this last time, but I love that searchlight on the cheap. Kind of get your bearings as to which direction you're swimming. Keep letting myself get excited, man. I was pretty stoked about, there was some announcement about Nintendo repairing their relationship with Square, and anyway, the way it was worded, it really sounded like they were going to bring Sakaguchi back and either do a proper sequel to Chrono Trigger or make another Mario RPG game with Square. Yeah, and there's been some, you know, there's like Bravely Default on the 3DS, right? So I don't know what they mean by repair their relationship. I feel like Square's been making games for Nintendo systems for a while. Definitely not the home for their main series anymore. Although, like I said, I would be so happy if they decided to make Final Fantasy XVI as a Switch exclusive in the style of the Super Nintendo. It would save them some money. I feel like Square has this reputation now where they have to always be pushing the graphical envelope, so they're the last company that would try to do something like that. Bums me out. Is there a... There is a destination indicator. Let's go to that. Yeah, the Mario and Luigi games are okay. They just don't feel as awesome. It's probably not fair to Mario and Luigi. I can't really articulate what makes me like Mario RPG better than Mario and Luigi or the early Paper Mario games. Oh, does this make me walk on the water? It does, that's cool. What's your deal? Oh, you a hat salesman? That's cool. Ooh, okay. Sailor outfits? Sure. I gotta save up 3 more coins. Sure. Man, that is an unusual opinion. Chrono Cross better than Chrono Trigger. I think they're different enough games that they're hard to compare. Kat was giving me shit for having that opinion about stuff. I can get away with not having a hard opinion on something by saying they're not really comparable. Breath of the Wild, you can't really say it's your favorite Zelda game because it's so different from every other Zelda. But I think I really do honestly believe that. I think that's probably true for Chrono Cross as well. It's a good game in its own right, and it suffers for being compared to Chrono Trigger. If it was just, you know, dimension hopping island adventure from Squaresoft, then I think people would like it a lot more. It's because they keep expecting it to be something it's not that it's unfairly judged. The Demon's Souls of Paper Mario games. Yeah, a new Dragon Quest game on Nintendo would be really great. That's not multiplayer. So clearly I need to get to that thing, right? That's where I am. So there must be a purple moon I have to unlock to be able to use it. Let's see. Ah, I thought I just barely avoided that. I did not. Womp womp. Yeah, and it's just definitely not Chrono Trigger 2, and I think the game actually suffers for its connection to Chrono Trigger. Like, it feels like any of the Chrono Trigger connection stuff in the plot is... it feels like it was added after the fact. Like, they had this cohesive story that was just about, you know, the island that it takes place on, the 2 different dimensions, and then they kind of shoehorned in the Chrono Trigger-y stuff later. Grass seems unperturbed, being smothered by lava. So where, oh where is the... Oh, you jerk. Alright, let's try to get that beeping to stop here. Ooh, getting a checkpoint recovers your health. That's good to know. Ah, I think I see what they're telling me. Yeah. Switch has been hitting it out of the park so far, right? Shh, it's a shortcut. Oh, so that's not... Alright, so there's an official purple moon around here somewhere that I need to find to be able to hit that switch to be able to fight numbnuts up top. Bot Kaitos is a spiritual successor to Chrono Cross. Really? I've heard a lot about that game, having never played it. Does it involve a lot of the same team or something? Alright. I guess I can just go try to hit the thing and see what happens. That's where it tells me I need to go. Maybe I need to do these in a specific order. Ah, womp, womp, womp. I thought I was close enough to the edge. I did not know that about Bot Kaitos. That makes me even more interested in checking it out. Dang it, Bobby! Okay. I think it's gonna make me go do... It shows a little moon icon, so maybe I have to go do it somewhere else in the stage. I could go down to this one and then come back to this one. Let's try that for now. The battles look similar. I'm really glad that you're low on health beeping stops. It's like, hey, just letting you know. You're low on health, but I'm not going to keep badgering you about it. Immediately starts badgering about it again. We'll just remind you occasionally. It's still a better solution than the constant beeping of Zelda and its ilk. That's insane. Like, I think the Super Nintendo is my favorite console of all time, but I can't really deny just like the massive quantity of extremely high quality games that came out for the PS2, so that's definitely a juggernaut to defeat. It also looked like if Nintendo's plan was to put the Switch on sale early so that all the nerds would fight over it before the holiday season so that there'd be a sufficient stock of it at Christmas, it looks like that worked out. Like, I didn't hear anything about Switch shortages, and Amazon had them in ready supply all through the holidays, so points to Nintendo for pulling that off. Can't see the magic of this place without all 4 fountains. Must have extraordinary timing. Okay, so we need to go through this way, right? The Goombas with the little pirate hats, that's awesome. It's like, what do Goombas do? Well, they can have traction and we can make them jump. Whoops. No, that didn't work. Now I have to climb up the mountainside to get up there, I guess. You mean the March sales when people were competing, Propagable? Well, yeah, I was okay with the Switch lineup being meh, because I think that's what their strategy was. Like, let's release it when the people who are going to buy a new Nintendo system, no matter what, will just buy it. And basically sell it for Zelda is the main reason people jumped on it. Oh yeah, no. I think that's exactly my point, Propagable, that the Christmas slot was mostly non-hardcore gamers, non-Nintendo fanboys, and the way they were able to have enough systems for everybody is they did all of the, like, system shortages, people buying up all the supply to resell them crap from the Wii, but they did it in, like, March of the same year to get that out of the way. Feel the ground beneath you. Gonna use that HD rumble. Alright. Yeah, Breath of the Wild's pretty great. So for anyone, I'm trying to avoid spoilers here, obviously, but for anyone who's done the DLC, does it feel... I don't know how I can word this without sounding stupid. Does it feel worth it after the main game? Like, I've definitely played some games where the DLC only really makes sense if you're playing through it as part of a initial playthrough of the game, and it's just something extra that you do. But if you try to do it after you've beaten the main game, it feels kind of gross and wonky. Can I wall jump all my way up here? I guess not traditionally. Maybe this is just a way to come back. Although I've seen, like, GIFs of people playing this game, and they've definitely done stuff like this. Okay, it's all through hat shenanigans. It is totally doable. Right on. This must be one of those fabled... You need to do crazy platforming to get all of the moons. Now, how do I get up to that one is the question now. There's not a shenanigan I can do, as far as I know. Oh, you have to be very nearly done to even open the DLC. Interesting. Don't you need to have the Master Sword to do the Master Sword Trial DLC? Someone's gonna put that, the game that the Quap creator made, is it Get Over It? I feel like that's gonna show up on Subblock really soon. Can I blast up there with a bubble power-up? You know, that makes that a lot more simple, Spiky. You're probably right. I guess I have a time limit to get there. There you go. I should make a Marstead forgot that he had a magic hat counter. You forgot you could use portals in the game called Portal. Thanks for sparing me the time and frustration. Yeah, that's a lot more simple. Womp womp, good call. Alright. Oh, and there's the normal hat store. I love that they brought this back from Mario 2, and you have to use your hat to possess it. It's amazing. Gotcha. This is a cool area. Whoops. Ba-dum-ba-dum-bum-bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. I love that dying just deducts from your coin total. It's a really good decision. Death is its own penalty in most cases. Ah, that clears the mist! Clever, clever. I see. I'm guessing it comes back after a while. No, maybe not. It might be a permanent clear. And they taught us about the mist at the beginning of the stage when it was more difficult to fall off of it. Oh, are a lot of people streaming that Get Over It game? That's pretty neat. Is it fun to watch people fail at it or something? Oh no! Womp womp. Yeah, I know, right? It's just a delightful game. So, it's a stream YouTube bait, so it's like Five Nights at Freddy's. Ah, I see. That makes sense. Can you imagine people's reactions when they can't beat this hard game? Well, maybe after a couple of years when it's died down, it would be fun to check out. Use the hat to get a little bit more vision here. Clever. Hey, nice. Yeah, no, that's cool. Oh, is it free too? Right on. That's cool. Mario's Moses. I don't know Propagable, but there's probably going to be a 45-minute game theories video on it. YouTube's kind of been bumming me out. I keep seeing all this clickbait crap for, like, you know... Mario Odyssey explained. Like, what? What is there to explain? You're Mario and you run around and you get moons. Like, I promise there's no hidden depth to it. And I haven't watched any of those videos, but I imagine they're not pointing out anything that's particularly amazing. Ah, shit. I think I was supposed to do that first. I'll try it next time. Oh, what game are you talking about, Ratchet? Sorry, I missed it. Yeah. I think it's just a clickbait word, right? Ah, bummer. Mario is Moses, is Sans, is you'll be blown away by his real identity. Yeah. Ugh. It kind of freaks me out that creative content is starting to seem solved, like the right way to market it. I'm sure you guys have followed that whole creepy Elsa Gate phenomenon. If not, well, okay. I don't recommend searching for it. You're going to have a bad day if you do. But basically, there's this bizarre subset of content that appears to have been algorithmically generated. Like, a computer is animating these really weird videos about, like, Spider-Man and Elsa and all these characters that kids are likely to search for in just these really weird scenarios. I got in this like Wikipedia binge about it a couple weeks ago. It was super fascinating. But it appears that like computers have just figured out what kids click on and what they will watch for hours and hours and hours at a time. So they just generate these ridiculous, bizarre videos make no sense, presumably to generate ad revenue, because the kids will just leave them on autoplay all day. They don't skip ads. Elsa Gross Foot Doctor, Elsa and Spider-Man injected by syringes, like just weird auto-generated stuff like that. They all have tens of thousands of views on them. The thing that's fascinating to me is that a computer could come up with an algorithm for what's the video title that is guaranteed to get views. Like, you know, a certain class of person will always click on it and always watch the whole thing. Algorithmically generated thumbnails. I know that there are some general rules about thumbnails that will get clicks. I'm clearly failing by not having, you know, one clickbaity word in a comic book font next to a picture of me holding my shoulder. Like, right, I gotta be doing like this. Being like, confusing? Explained? Alright, I don't think I want to mess around with bringing the seeds over today. Wouldn't know where to put it right now. Most of YouTube videos ever are toy reviews, really. Love the music when you get into this area. This game kind of has the Breath of the Wild, Dark Souls approach to music, huh? It's mostly context-sensitive music, it's not just constantly playing. I do kind of miss the old-school video game music approach, but that's still cool. Carmen Sandiego Goomba, who I haven't figured out what to do with her yet. Oh, all the comments are random gibberish, accidentally typed by kids and other toy channels. I heard there's like some conspiracy theories about the random gibberish comment on these videos. That like their code, they're like, they go into some other kind of URL and they lead you to nefarious content. And it's a way for nefarious people to share information. Like you could have, you know, a terrorist cell that communicates through cryptic comments on Elsagate videos. I don't think any of that's true, but it's wild that we know so little about it, that those are the kind of theories people are entertaining. You won't believe what happens. Undertale Episode 2, Wife's Blind Playthrough. Explained. No, here it comes. Oh, he's even starting. Oh, Jesus. That's worse, Jahan. That's worse. I had already mentally prepared myself. You could use MMOs for it instead of obscure videos, yeah. It's really... It's interesting gibberish, like, and it seems like it's a massive volume of gibberish to have just been randomly typed and submitted by toddlers, right? So... It could just be that they're typing gibberish that's meant to avoid being caught by YouTube's spam algorithms. So it's still a computer that's doing it, and it's without any nefarious purpose other than to, you know, not get removed as spam and to increase the engagement level on the video. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited to try out that Doki Doki Literature Club game. Like I said, it's too bad that I found out that it has some kind of twist on Reddit, because that would have been the funniest thing to put that on Subblock. Me booted up like, oh my god, this is an anime going to high school visual novel? I hate all of you. I've just been miserable until the thing happens. I don't know what the thing is, I just know that there's a thing. There's a warning when you boot the game up about disturbing content. Yeah, the kelp enemies are kinda... They're a little disconcerting, aren't they? Just they have such sharp edges for some reason. Oh, you did it anyway!
What if I go in and say, what if I say kawaii? Kawaii! Don't ever do that again, Marstead.
Alright, it was for Kaihan, it's worth it. Good night, Kaihan, sleep well. Thanks, Nodovan, I am delighted to be back. Is there not actually a thing here? Must just not be jumping in the right spot. Let me go get my Hawaiian shirt here. I have not played. It's the pigeon dating simulator game. Yeah, the truth behind the kelp enemies. Ugh. Yeah. Night, Kaihan.
Casualty.
Well, that's fine. I can work with that.
Casualty.
That's to make it a lot harder, but
Casualty.
I might still be able to.
Casualty.
Shit.
Casualty.
I like that the timing on that ended up working out, that it played while I was putting on my Hawaiian shirt. Like, it was a fashion casualty. Oh, I didn't try this. That makes sense. Ah, and then once I leave the water behind, I can regenerate my bubble in there. Gotcha. Clever. Don't you dare. Okay. Don't. Oh my god, Mario. You're stressing me out here, buddy. I just need you to swim. Like, not jump. With all of your might. Oh. You might remember that Super Mario Bros. Was released in 1986. Yeah, exactly, Yukipo. See you, Donovan. Good seeing you. Yeah, when I'm playing sensitive games, I try to delay looking at chat to give mods time to clear it. But I managed to make it through Undertale with virtually no chat spoilers, which is really impressive because I played it at its like peak run into people's channels and spoil it on purpose level. Because I kept my eyes off of chat for about 3 seconds. Sparkle water. Alright, let's try it. I'm gonna go fight him, that's cool. I like it, you kind of have to pop the champagne bottles, the sparkle water, excuse me, just to get to the boss in the first place. I actually only played Undertale once. Well, no, I guess I played Genocide, right? So I played it twice, but then I watched Lisa and Matt's whole playthrough, and part of Andrea's. The lava head is telling me I shouldn't expect to be able to jump on his head to damage him, right? Yeah. Oh, unless if I can drop water on his head first? Let's try that. Yeah, that seems right. Oh, that's cool. So, one of the moons ensured that I understood this mechanic, right? By having one of the switches require that I figure out about turning the lava, spraying water on the lava to make it go away, it makes sure that I'm not stuck on this boss fight. That's clever. I think they have the VOD up. I'd have to look for it. It was pretty good, though. Trixie. Good Mario design. Teach you the mechanic and then make you use it under pressure, right? That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I'm wondering if I have to jump on his head and do a ground pound. That's my guess. Yeah, that's really neat. It's the same level you've already been playing in the whole time. That's cool. I definitely need one of these. I like that they're making you reuse the ability you've spent the entire level using, too. Ah. Might not be actually what I'm supposed to do. I think I do want to corner him, though. Oh, jeez. I'm about to die. There we go, that was right. Go get some hearts. Yeah, this is awesome. Just a really well done boss fight. Yeah, Beyblade, let her rip. Boss music's pretty cool too. That'd be neat. Have to make it so you can't run out of water if you're over his head. This is definitely among my favorite Mario bosses. Not that Mario's ever been, like, the best bosses of all time. They're usually pretty weak. This game, though, they've done a good job with it. Oh, you do have to get him stuck in a corner. Okay. Nice, that's fair. I got one for free at the beginning of the stage. Nice. That was cool. Hey, sparkle water. Not champagne. Totally a different thing. Glass is half full. Multi-moon. Sparkle water headaches. Alright, so I think I still have to go get the frosty cake from the water world, so I'll go back there in a second here.
Wow. See the music? Oh, pardon the pause.
Sure. I think they really nailed the number of moons you need from each zone to progress. And it may have just been the same approach as they did with the Korok seeds in Breath of the Wild. They just put so many in the game that you're very likely to just get the necessary amount from regular exploration. And then getting the rest of them is just a crazy thing you would do to get everything, you know? I don't know if I finished the Snow Kingdom. Let me see if there's a quest icon there or not. Hey Raker, Screwbin. Happy Tuesday / Wednesday to you. Long. Oh, I know all about the long jump. There's one Mario thing I know. It's that. Did I in fact have something that I skipped here? Mario definitely has the best clothes on for this zone. No, I must have cleared it. Huh. I don't remember the context or what boss I fought in order to get it, but I should pay closer attention to this little bonus information on the side here. That's kind of cool. Yeah, probably the trademark icon isn't in the Chrono Trigger font. Race with the Seal People. Don't they usually have to do a boss fight to get the final thing for the zone? I remember the Seal People race, but I didn't remember if that was required. Oh, I hope I didn't just skip... No, I was just skipping leaving that planet. I'd like to see the intro to the new zone, for sure. Triple jump. Yup, I got it. Thanks, bud. Luncheon Kingdom. Stupendous stew. I don't know if I've ever had stew at a wedding. It's a Japanese thing. What I would even consider as wedding food. Appetizers or hors d'oeuvres, maybe? There wasn't a boss fight in the Snow Kingdom. That must have been why I was confused. Broodals are after some cooking. This area makes perfect sense in a universe that contains New Donk City. This must be where we Mario Kart through in Mario Kart 8, right? At least it looks like it. Alright, so the steam rising off of the syrup leads me to believe that I can't survive in that. So I should probably get an enemy that lets me walk on it, perhaps? It's a good job to kind of communicate to you whether something will damage you or not. Oh my god. Lava tomatoes? Alright, so that makes sense. Swedish meatballs are popular here. Is this candy corn on the cob? Goodness. Madness. Yeah, I still don't know what to do with the... Do I yet have the ability to interact with the Carmen Sandiego pink Goomba, or is that something I unlock later? It's a cool little pile of sugar there. Cryptocurrency from Peter's Burgers. I do. Is it just throwing my hat at her at the right timing? And I haven't gotten the timing down for it yet. Oh, he gets a little mustache. That's funny. That's awesome. Ah, but he can't touch the ground. He has to stay in the lava syrup. Okay. Good to know. I don't know if I can make that jump around that corner or not. I also can't kill these guys. Try going around the back here and see what happens. Probably gonna be another fireball I can interact with elsewhere in the level. I don't have to keep trying that jump. Oh, boss fight right away. Right on. Unexpected. Thought so. These guys feel like the more traditional Mario Brothers bosses, and they have those cool stage bosses like the ostentatious octopus. Ah, I see. Be careful. Not let him be in that phase for too long, or I'm gonna have a bad time. Ah, but when I hit him, it resets. Okay. Ooh, shit. Thought I had that. I did not. Whoops. Womp womp. Try that again. Speward. Oh wow, that sent me further back than I thought it would. Oh, right on. It's not a long walk. Excuse me. There might actually still be some fireball enemies out here somewhere. See if I can get this Carmen Sandiego Goomba real quick. Yeah, I kind of associate Swedish meatballs with IKEA as well. So do I just need to throw my hat at her, like, right as I see her? Or can't really sneak up behind her. I tried doing it on an earlier stage and it didn't work. No, wait, that doesn't seem to interact with her. Maybe I need to get the drop on her, and this is just telling me that she's here. Something else. I'm trying to think, what else can I do more clever than that? She'll always run. It's not just getting the drop on her. I'm trying to think what else I can do. I guess I can show up to her with in a Goomba form. Maybe she likes Goombas. Maybe historically there have always been Goombas near her and I just haven't noticed that. Better try. It'll certainly make this section more difficult if I have to navigate it as a Goomba. Explain why there's all those shenanigans here. You can discuss suggestions and hide first, just to make sure everybody thinks it's kosher, and if everyone agrees, then you can go ahead and just share it, that's fine. That is it. She just loves the Goombas. Ah, clever. But I need to be tall enough to actually reach her. Okie dokie. Usually if I ask, but sometimes you can share a suggestion if everybody in chat thinks it's reasonable. Like, Spiky shared a suggestion earlier about not trying to wall jump a tricky part, because it would have taken forever, and to just use the ability that I learned elsewhere in the level. I greatly appreciated that one, because it saved me a bunch of time. And I clearly wasn't considering that there was another route. But he gave me a chance to try it the stupid way for a while, because it would have been kind of cool if I had done it the stupid way and you'd be like, oh, there was actually a way easier way to do that. Yeah, I don't think I've done this before. I don't know why I didn't consider trying it. Suggest you complete the level. Thanks. Carmen Sandiego Goombas are attracted to any specimen, any male specimen whatsoever. They have very low standards. It's just not being bad. There you go. Ah! Jiminy Crease. Golly gosh. Yeah, that's cool. It's been fun watching Kat and Donovan and Andrea play through Breath of the Wild for the same reason. They keep doing things very These rabbit bosses seem great for speedrunners because you can just wreck them really fast if you know what you're doing. There's very little like waiting around. Look at that. That's kind of the classic Mario boss model. Like if you do everything immediately, Boom Boom dies instantly, right? Look like Pauline for the She-Goomba. Swedish conspiracy. That's fair. Do moons confer a free heal? Of that, I'm not sure. Understandable, Yahan. Under the cheese rocks. Okay. Those are cheese rocks. It does give you a full heal. Nice. Although that might only be story moons. I guess we'll find out. It's not like health is on a major premium in this game. What the hell is this? Possess the fork. Okay. Alright. I love the really minor uses of possession in this game. These look like the little blobs from Zelda. It's fork people. Oh, that's cool! The little tines of the fork! Oh, this game is great. Oh, this game's amazing. Alright, I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back, guys. Grab something to drink. I'll leave you with some in-game music, because it's pretty and this doesn't look like this area is dangerous. Love this Stream Deck thing. I just have a couple buttons I hit for the BRB thing in the corner. I don't have to navigate through OBS every time. I was talking to Kat when I got up to go to the restroom, and he said that he was watching the stream with Cameron upstairs, a 2-year-old daughter, and she started freaking out because I was like trapped in the TV. She can't say Dylan, she says Dawi. She was like, Dawi, Dawi. Like, no, it's fine, he's just downstairs. Hey, isn't that bird from the Toad game, Captain Toad? Maybe not, it looks similar. You guys will meet Cameron one of these days. I'll bring her on stream. She's adorable. She is FAF, fake as frick, we'll say. Just try to keep the stream more or less PG-13. She's very cute, but she's also smart enough to be a very manipulative baby. She knows she's cute, and she can use it to get what she wants, and I'm a complete pushover. The TV got me before she did. Yeah. Top the jutting crag. Okay. I love their attention to detail with putting hats on anything you can't possess. Like, they must have really done a couple passes over the game. Like, let's double check and make sure unpossessable things all have hats. No joke. Okay. Gotta be dressed as a chef. Got it. It seems like every stage has one of those. Thank you, Cappy. I'm happy to be back. How have you been? Let's see. I've got enough for the chef's hat. Ooh, painter in this level. That's cool. So I gotta save up 9 more coins to get the rest of my overcooked outfit. Cool. What games have you been playing? Yo. Found any turnips? Plop them right in my soup. Gold ones too, especially the goldies. Okay. Is that going to be the fundamental, like, quest of this stage? Oh, how is it? Have you been playing it multiplayer or solo? I might see... Kat or Jaden might actually be interested in playing the Divinity Original Sin games with me co-op. That would be fun. Yeah, Andrea doesn't quite have the patience for it, but Jaden would probably jump at the chance at co-hosting, something like that. It definitely seems like the kind of game that you want to co-op if you can. It's still great solo? That's good to hear. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, it'll be my first ever Deus Ex game. I grew up, I had some friends who were really into Deus Ex, but I've never actually played any of those games myself. Oh, that's cool. The music kind of changes to a lava level-y theme. Oh, I guess it's not while you're in this form, it's just that area up there. It's interesting. It's interesting how I feel like Mario 64 has sort of established the instruments you would use for a Mario lava level. And that's been true across the different games. So I'm so devoted to holding down the run button at all times that I just like use my finger on this hand to push the right stick on this joystick to move the camera. Yeah, I took a stream hiatus. My wife has bipolar disorder and started to have some really bad episodes at work. So I took some time off to... She took leave from work and got some disability. So I took time off with her as she got new medication and started to get a little bit better. She had her first day back at work today. And I've started streaming again. Let's see. We'll do this minigame over here. Ooh, that's interesting. So platforms that you can jump through when you're fire, but that Mario will still land on. That's clever. Turn into a fork person. Makes perfect sense. That's cool. Oh, I didn't realize you could change the angle at which you flick. Alright, let me go get these coins. I want to get the rest of the chef outfit here. Yeah, she just got home. 1 second. Yeah, she's home talking to Kat. Sounds like she had a good first day back to work. Made income from charity. A net gain. Now, is there anything in this game that's you need to have the Joy-Cons to be able to get to? I know there's certain mechanics that you can only use with the Joy-Cons. Yeah, that's really exciting. She was super nervous about it. We talk about collapsing wave functions, right? This idea in physics that until you collapse the wave function, the position of a particle is completely unknown. Or although it's not completely unknown, but it follows a graph, and just having all these wave functions we needed to collapse. She needed to get a doctor's note this morning to go back to work, and to try to save her some of the hassle. Me and Kat went over to pick it up, and it was in an envelope, but I was like, I should probably open this and check it before we leave the building, and sure enough, we left. The date for return back to work on the paperwork was wrong. It's just one of those, like, that's her nightmare. She's going to go back to work, give them the return to work paperwork, and they're going to say, this says you can't return until next week. Go home. It's a useful turn of phrase, collapsing the wave function. So I know I can do something with the cheese. This game is really good, Cappy. If you have a Switch, I feel like it's a must-buy. And I feel like the Switch is already kind of a must-buy system, just with this Breath of the Wild and some of the other options coming out for it. It's cool, he throws little frying pans, that's awesome. And you can throw a ton of them. Wow, I love this game. It's so good. The portable nature of the Switch isn't just a gimmick, it's actually really convenient. I've used it a ton of times. Even just being able to share the TV with other people is nice. Andrea is an astrophysicist, so she researches dark matter. She is investigating what dark matter might be, right? There's some theories as to what it could be. We know that there's all this matter in the universe that we can't see, that accounts for a pretty huge component of the mass energy budget of the universe. So it might be some kind of particle that we can understand that just doesn't interact with the electromagnetic force or light. So she uses experiments that are gamma ray observatories to look for gamma rays in space. Maybe, dark matter doesn't interact with light, but maybe it interacts with itself or other particles and produces extra gamma rays than what we would expect from other sources like supernovas and stars and that sort of thing. So if she sees more gamma rays than we expect, maybe it's dark matter. She's kind of a statistics specialist, though, so when other people say, hey, we totally found dark matter, she looks at their statistics and says, nah, that's not actually dark matter, you're wrong. Try again. I just got the math wrong. Yeah, it's called modified gravity. It's one theory. There's a lot you have to account for, the modified gravity folks. If you Google it, Google the bullet cluster. You can see it's a pretty picture of what it looks like, but any attempt to explain the bullet cluster that doesn't use dark matter, I don't think we've seen anything that's competitive yet. It's a pretty compelling experimental case for it. Yeah, it's not unreasonable, but it's definitely like a 90 versus 10% thing, Leon. The vast majority of theorists, I think, still say it's dark matter, and we feel like we understand gravity really well. We must have some major misconceptions across the board if it's actually just that we don't get gravity or we're missing something else. Yeah, no, for sure. I hear you. I wonder if I need to clear out a certain section of the stage to get over there. I love that the Hammer Brothers kind of hop in place, like calling back to Mario 1. Hammer Brothers explained. As you can see from this ancient video, Super Mario Brothers 1. Nice. Oh, so that's a separate moon, isn't it? From the one from getting the little coins in the stage. Interesting. Alright, so where's the last little coin that I'm missing? It must be behind one of these rocks somewhere. Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's definitely worth to check everywhere. Does string theory actually make any predictions? I think Andrea is pretty skeptical about string theory. I'd have to ask her. Remember we went to a talk one time by a physics theorist. Ooh, that's where it is. That's clever. I wouldn't have thought that. Nice. They were talking about the universe being holographic, and they had this like big presentation about, oh, all the information in the universe can be imprinted on a 2D space. Thank you, Cappy. Appreciate that.
You're super awesome.
Good to have you back, Cappy. It's been a while. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think so. Like the holographic universe one, there were a bunch of physics experimentalists in the room, and they were like, "So, what does your theory predict about the universe?" I said, "Well, it doesn't make any predictions. It's just interesting." It's like, okay, so it's not all that different from, you know, a bunch of stoners talking about, dude, what if the universe is a simulation, bro? Like, as far as physicists are concerned, they're not super stoked about it. It is still fun for mathematicians to say, does this, you know, does this fit mathematically? Could this be true? Let's see. I need to go around this corner. I hear that ratio. After watching a 15-minute video, I have very strong opinions. Right. Alright, I think I have enough coins now to get the rest of the chef outfit, but let me finish the stage first. This game is too good. Andrea has remarkably low patience for, like, philosophical and, like, pure math physics experiments and thought experiments. She's an experimentalist, so her question is always, okay, so what can I do to test your idea and tell you whether you're right or wrong? And if there's nothing she can do to test it, she's like, what is it? So you got Occam's razor is generally the theory that requires the least assumptions is correct, and Hanlon's razor is assume ignorance before malice. Some physicists joke that Newton's flaming laser sword is that which isn't testable, isn't worth discussing.
I'm sure that feels good to, like, not only do your workspace stuff, do your paperwork, do like
It depends on the style of physicists. There's two basic schools of thought. There's theorists and experimentalists. Theorists do all the math and say what could be true. Experimentalists are, like Andrea, say, okay, so let's actually go about devising tests to determine whether that's true. Like, what can we look at in the universe? What experiments can we use to test your theory? And you need both brands, right? It's usually the theorists that get rewarded at the end of the day. Like, you know, you've got, you know, thousands of people that are all coming up with independent ideas about how the universe might work. One of them is going to get lucky and get the Nobel Prize, not the, you know, thousands of people in the LHC collaboration that, you know, actually detected the Higgs boson. It's going to be the guy who thought of it first. And yeah, he deserves credit. He rolled a 20. He did all his math right. But our system certainly doesn't reward the experimentalists. It's not a sexy position to say 99% of you are wrong. Especially in these days where we've kind of uncovered most of the easy-to-run experiments questions about the universe, right? Everything we need to solve now requires millions upon millions of dollars, huge collaborations of people. There's no physicist in their basement using their own money to discover something amazing anymore. It's giant groups of people these days. But all of our incentive systems are still built on that, like, some guy in his basement discovering something important model. Hey, Kevin, I'm doing good. How are you doing? I tried to wave and it made the Hammer Brother throw a bunch of frying pans. I like how this wouldn't be tricky if not for the Hammer Brother. Oh, but I guess I don't actually need it, do I? Oh. I guess I couldn't have killed the Spiny without the Hammer Brother. It wasn't super necessary. That's the fork. That's awesome. I do a lot of that at the lab where Andrea works. Twitch. What the heck is this? I'm a giant slab of meat that's getting the attention of the giant bird. Oh, this game is delightful. Is that the same bird from Captain Toad? I guess not. It was more like a raven monster. I forgot to carry the 2. I am the prime rib. That was fantastic. Giant slab of meat with an appetizing mustache. Now I'm in the stew. This game is too good. I love this stuff that Nintendo does, man. I don't know. There's something about Japanese game developers. They'll do stuff that they make it seem like it's the most natural thing in the world, right? There's no irony or sarcasm. They're like, no, you're straight up. You're a slab of meat, and it's gonna be rad. We don't need to make a little in-joke about it. I feel we're seeing the development of that in a lot of Western movies, especially like Disney movies lately, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and even like The Last Jedi. Like, we can't do anything that's just cool. If it's kind of cheesy, we have to make some sort of self-aware joke about it. We can't just, you know, do a cool thing and let it be cheesy. You gotta have a character wink at the camera and say, we know this is stupid. So just be stupid. It's fine. You can be a giant slab of meat with a mustache. That's okay. Meat Boy did it first. Yeah, Dark Souls did it first. Yeah, it's kind of hard to describe what I'm talking about. Comics can be silly, and you know, I really enjoyed Thor Ragnarok, for example, as a movie that just totally embraced how ridiculous, how fundamentally ridiculous it is to have a Norse god traveling through space, right? It was just a goofy, fun movie. But it definitely feels like Disney has this, they have this like committee of executives that are like, oh, we can't do that because people won't take us seriously if we do that, so we have to make some kind of joke to cut the tension. And it's starting to feel kind of excessive. Cynical good, sincere bad. I think that's what it is, yeah. It's this sort of cynical comedy is the best way I can describe it. Probably the first joke I can think of that, you know, is a really good ideal type of the problem I'm talking about is there's a joke in, I want to say, X-Men 1, which is actually Fox, not Disney. But they have Wolverine makes some joke about like, what were you expecting, yellow spandex? It's like, yeah, I was expecting yellow spandex, and that's okay. Like, we don't have to pretend like the heritage isn't there, you know. Thanks, Cappy. And isn't it great that Cappy's messages don't interrupt the flow of gameplay? Oh, that's how I get over here. Oh no. Fundamental platforming puzzle. Oh, this wasn't open before. Interesting. Sure, yeah, I wasn't over here before, was I? I thought that I needed to be in the lava to get to something interesting here. Maybe it was just purple coins or something. Maybe I'm just misremembering. Ha! Well, that's something. This game has ruined your name forever. I keep saying, hey, it's Cappy. I didn't even think about that. Taika Waititi is awesome. Yeah, I think that Thor Ragnarok was... I think that's the way you should do it. Like, that movie doesn't... It has a lot of laughs and it has a lot of jokes, but it feels like it's just funny because it's funny, you know? It's not having to make a little wink at the camera and say, we know this is dumb. There's no need to wink. It's obviously dumb, right? Yeah, I really loved Thor Ragnarok. I thought that was a pretty perfect take. I don't think I can interact with these metal blocks yet. I've seen them around before. There was one in New Dunk City. Although I guess I don't know what ability I would gain that would allow me to interact with it, so... Whoa, I did not realize that the stew pot was at the top of that syrup volcano. This game is great. Thor's Guardians 3. Yeah, I hear that. I do enjoy Guardians. I felt like Guardians 2 was kind of like, hey, there's all this stuff that totally worked in Guardians 1, so let's try to do all of that again. It's like the Baby Groot stuff felt kind of gross to me in Guardians 2. Otherwise, I enjoyed it, for the most part. Whee! Is that the best way to get to this? I guess I don't know how else I would do it. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok is really good. I had a lot of fun with it. It's just a bright, colorful movie. It's funny. It finally gets Thor right, because Thor shouldn't be a dark, brooding character. He's pretty ridiculous. No, I did love Baby Groot, but I'm trying to think how to describe it. Like, there's a scene in... So spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. There's a scene in the movie where they're like, oh no, we can't do the thing because nobody's small enough to fit. Oh wait, we've got Baby Groot. And it felt exploitative, you know? It didn't feel like it was a natural consequence of the story. Like, the fact that Vin Diesel is billed as Baby Groot and not just Groot at the beginning really felt like there was an executive committee that was like, we want to capitalize on the cuteness of this. There's like a couple scenes where a character's like, oh, we can't do anything to that Baby Groot character because he's so cute. It's like, you don't need to tell me he's cute constantly. Like, I can figure that out. I can look at the character and be like, yeah, that's a cute character. So it wasn't so much the existence of the character, it was the way he was written into the story. Yeah, I love the musical choices in that movie. It was mostly what the other characters were saying about him that bugged me rather than just his existence. Like, we can't have something that's just cute anymore. We have to tell the audience, don't you get it? Isn't it cute? Yeah. No shit. I can tell. It's screenplay directorial hand-holding, I guess. And I generally frown on that in any genre. It's probably why I like something like Dark Souls so much. Because it's like, screw holding your hand. I'm not going to tell you anything. Come on. Whew. I can. Yeah. I really like, dude, this is great for streaming and just playing games in general. They did this goofy thing in the, oh shoot. Hold on, I'm gonna die. I can talk. They did a really goofy thing in the Switch reveal video, like the Nintendo Direct thing they did, where they had one of the guys, like, they brought a couch out on stage just so he could lean back and, like, put his hands behind his back like this and keep playing the game. But it's pretty true, like, playing with the Joy-Cons is really convenient for just kind of chilling out. You don't have to do this and sit up close. You can just put your hands wherever they fall. And it feels more convenient than something like the Wii Mote and the Nunchuck, because those were still connected via tether, right? Oh, God. Ah! I should have gone back. I made a bad decision. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Bollywood's like that. Bollywood... They're able to just do stuff that's sincere. I think that my concern is that in Western culture we've lost a lot of our capacity for just sincerity. Let's just do something that's just sincerely goofy and cool, and not wink at everybody constantly that we know that it's stupid. Just do it. That's why you get something like Katamari Damacy that unabashedly says, hey, the solution to all our problems is to make a giant sticky ball and roll up the cosmos to replace the stars that the drunk god knocked out of the sky. It's just like, yeah, that's the story. We don't need to wink at you and let you know that we know that it's dumb. Just enjoy it, it's fun. Yeah, that's a pretty good example. Just Evil Dead originally, or Army of Darkness, was silly, was fundamentally silly, and didn't have to tell you that it knew it was silly. It could just be silly and be fun. That's a good example. Has anyone figured out how to connect Joy-Cons to PC? I know you can connect the Pro controller, but that's kind of a traditional controller in the first place. Oh, are you gonna join me?
Yes.
All right, Andrea's joining. Give me 1 sec to adjust. Just not have to stretch it quite so far if you're this close. Oh yeah, I gotta do that, don't I? This is my wife, Andrea. After her first day back to work after 4 months.
Hey, Andrea's here.
I'm in a syrup kingdom.
Oh, right on.
Here comes.
That looks like cotton candy, but we'll go with syrup. Syrup.
It's hot like lava. It's hot syrup.
Hey,
Or
all.
hot molten sugar.
I'm doing good.
Did your first day turn out okay? I couldn't
Yeah,
hear
work-
anything you guys were saying.
Work was, as Donovan said, it's not hateful.
Not hateful. I like that.
not
That's a good term.
Well,
Yeah.
and I spent an hour and a half at occupational medicine because
Mhm.
they had to like clear me to.
Oh,
to
sure.
work. And part of that was talking to this psychiatrist lady, and
Mm-hmm.
you know me, like I'm a sharer. Because she was
Are
like,
you?
"Oh, I'll only take 10 minutes of your time, and you're not in trouble." And I like
Uh-huh.
wanted to be like, "No, really, I would love to talk to you."
Yeah, let's do this.
Let me tell. Well, because she, she works at the lab, so she's familiar with the lab
Sure.
and what's
like,
expected of you. So like I was telling her about some of the stuff I was going through with coworkers
Mhm.
and supervisors, and she was like, "Yeah, that's kind of fucked up."
oh wow. I'm glad to have someone who's official tell you that, right?
Right? Yeah.
Because it is screwed up, but it's different for me to tell you that or a friend to tell you that than
But
someone who
from
works
the lab
there.
who wasn't like, "Oh, well, you just need to toughen up."
Right.
Because that's what I say to myself.
Mhm.
So I need other people to tell me when I'm frustrated and tell me like, "Hey, that's a perfectly reasonable reaction, and it's okay to feel that way." So, yay, validation indeed propagable.
That's cool. So the game has a little picture that gives me a hint for something, and then it says I should use the camera, the screenshot button, which heretofore has been useless,
Yep.
right? The only time this button gets pressed is when you accidentally press it playing Zelda, and there's all these pictures of you spam pressing it around like a Lionel or something. But they tell you to use it to save hint art in the game, and I didn't think of the game formally telling you to do that. That's actually quite clever. I'm really glad you got some validation. How many tons of dark matter did you find on your first day back?
20.
There you go.
No, I didn't.
About 7.
Because after occupational med, they made me change offices, so I moved all my shit
Mm-hmm.
into a new office that's closer to like Pat and Brenda.
Okay. Coworker, your supervisor and coworker.
Yeah. So that's good. I was talking to Pat about wanting to move away from Hawk, and he said that makes sense because Hawk's going to be over soon and is kind of a dead end.
Hawk's the experiment she's currently working
Because
on that's kind of
For
driven her
some
nutty.
reason, the Department of Energy just wants to kill my field, so there's no
Right.
experiment happening after it
Mm-hmm.
that I could be involved in from Los Alamos.
Yeah. So,
he
Andrea,
was kind of like, that kind of makes sense, so that you can start on something new that actually has a future.
well, it's good to hear that people are agreeing with you in your field. Andrea works at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, which is the inspiration for Black Mesa in Half-Life. She's a physicist, and one of the things that she could do, she could move away from astrophysics and go behind the fence, it's called, to do what's basically weapons research. Not necessarily creating new weapons. Like, this is where they built the atom bomb in World War II, the Los Alamos National Lab. But, maybe just understanding our nuclear stockpile and managing
The way
it.
I figure it is, we live in a world where nuclear weapons exist.
Whether we want to or not,
Whether
they
we
do.
want to or not, we
Yeah.
do. And one, we have this aging stockpile that's just kind of sitting around, and so
Mm-hmm.
it would be nice to know if they're still stable, do they still
Satisfying.
work.
Mhm.
But then the other thing, and this is just because I'm a bit nationalistic about America, but I would really like America to know the most in the whole world about nuclear weapons.
Sure.
Because I don't want someone to suddenly.
Well, to
surprise us.
put it more, you would prefer that the rest of civilization know more about nuclear weapons than North Korea.
Yes.
It doesn't
absolutely.
necessarily have to be America.
That's true, right?
particularly,
And we collaborate with people
You would like
from
to-
the UK.
Mhm.
Um,
I love that it
other
keeps
friendly
your
countries.
costume in this. I love these little 2D segments. They're awesome. But yeah, that's very reasonable. It doesn't mean that you're making new weapons, but you're understanding the weapons that do exist, what the risks are of nuclear warfare. You want to have some physicists making those decisions, right?
But yeah, but like, so what I think I'd be doing is they take like a core of uranium and they don't make it go critical, but they make it go boom a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like 50 different lasers shining on different points, and the lasers can tell both the position and the velocity of the ejecta from the explosion. So you can look to see, is there like an asymmetry?
Sure.
What could be causing that? And try and just really and they take like a picture of the position and the velocity like once every 20 nanoseconds or something insane like that. So you know the explosion happens really fast, but you get a lot of snapshots of it as it's evolving. And then you can go and tell that, okay, simulators, does your simulation show this? Because this is what's actually happening.
Gotcha. And if it doesn't, you need to update your simulation.
simulations.
Yeah. That might be the way to do it, Propagable, that's fair.
Yeah, I want it to be America because that's my home.
That's where I live.
So I grew up.
I would be happy to not get nuked to death.
My dad was in the Air Force, and so I grew up with the military family. I think that's where I get my nationalism.
So I turn them all
but I'm
off?
like, people are like, oh, Adrian, why don't you just move to Europe? Because they're doing what you want to do. And I was like, I don't want to live in Europe. I'm sorry, I just really like America. There's Taco Bells here.
Taco Bell's in Japan.
That's true. They were different, though. I don't think it was as good.
I love that Taco Bell is like your unit of value.
Yes.
She's used that too to describe like when she's like, man, if we ever got pregnant and had a baby, I would basically be turning a Taco Bell into a person.
Yep.
Because I would eat Taco Bell.
Person comes out.
That's exactly how that works. All right.
There's this other thing that I might want to get involved in where you slam a chunk of plutonium with a bunch of neutrons and then watch how it jiggles, and it tells you about like if it's still, I don't know, good or not.
How do you wake up in the morning without Taco Bell's syrup?
Dude, Taco Bell is the bomb diggity.
That's a fair description. Ah! I've got a chef
Can you
costume.
throw your hat and jump longer?
Yes. Not like that, though. Similar to that, but without the falling in the melty, Ooh, I didn't realize I could knock that back. Oh god, oh god, oh god. I can't throw my hat at the piranha plants because they just eat it. Which makes sense. Start of the peak climb. Careful on those flipping platforms above. Oh, careful on those flipping platforms. He's not cursing.
So is everyone excited to have stream back? Thank you for your patience during the hiatus.
Yeah. Everyone has been super cool about the hiatus even existing in the first place. I really appreciate that. No! This is an evil bell pepper? Alright. That's fantastic.
Dude, ever since our friends Kat and Donovan have moved in with us, we've been cooking a lot more, and it's been awesome.
Oh, it's been awesome. Yeah. We weren't going out to eat 3 times a day. I mean, part of that was it was just like, it was a socially valuable experience to do something, to leave the house to go out to eat, because we didn't really have a lot of other social experiences in town. Nice, Kevin. Oh, shoot.
So, Chaos, I did write a book, but it's perhaps a bit more technical than you're thinking of. But it still has the Andrea voice. I don't swear in it, though, so, you know.
That's how you know it's
probably
professional.
Not that interesting. Dude, so...
It's for, like, grad students that are kind of doing her kind of research.
Dylan was asking me about, like, quantum mechanics this morning, and I think I came up with a really good analogy to, like, uncertainty.
Well, earlier, Propagable was joking, like, I hear you talk about collapsing wave functions more than your wife. Like, I just like it as a analogy. Yeah, go ahead.
So, okay. Imagine you have a pond, and it's full of fish. and each fish is a different size. And if you plotted the number of fish that are different sizes as a function of size, you would get some kind of a distribution, let's say a bell curve. So like medium-sized fishes are more populated than the really big ones or the really small ones. Alright, so now, let's say you're just gonna go fishing, and you've set your fishing thing in there, and you've gotten a nibble. And before you pull the fish up, there's no way for you to know if it's a big fish or a small fish.
You can make an educated guess that it's probably going to be a medium fish,
Probably
right?
a medium fish, but so, and then if you fish a whole lot and you get a big sample, then you'll start to see that bell curve. But on an individual basis, you can't know until you measure it, / pull the fish out of the water.
I think that's a really good example. So how does wave particle duality fit into the fish example?
Oh, that's a whole different
I know, I'm kidding.
It doesn't.
I know, right?
Or at least
It
not
just
yet.
doesn't. I love these little platforms here. This is super clever. Fortunately, I screwed it up twice in a row. Where are the chips in your example?
That's true. And then you eat the fish.
Doing a like pop science application would kind of be Andrea's dream job. It's just really hard to find a need for that, especially in like Los Alamos, right, where everybody is a physicist, a kid of a physicist, lives with a physicist.
Well, so if the whole job thing doesn't go very well, because like it got to the point in September where I was having suicidal ideation at work all the time.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't work.
And we still don't know to what
I
extent
just
that's
had
connected
this-
to the specific job that you're
Stressors.
working, right?
Because during my leave, I didn't have any major depressive episodes. So that's good. Yeah, I do podcasting. I don't know what I talk about, though. I'd probably run out of topics.
That's impossible.
Oh, anyway, so what I was getting at is, if this whole job thing doesn't work out and it turns out I can't really take the stress of the lab, then I think what I'd like to do is teach and, like, find a poor community nearby, like in Espanola, that really needs good STEM teachers.
And just be a big fish in a little sea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But then I'd get to, like, come up with analogies all the time.
Yeah, you could get your
that would
teaching
be a
degree
really
at
stressful job,
UNM
too.
near here. What? Oh, do I actually have to fight this thing now?
Dun, 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 dun.
Lack of major depressive episodes hype. I love how a lot of the bosses have you in a different form too. I mean, only it's really the rabbit bosses that you're fighting as Mario. So I'm limited in the abilities that I have access to here, right? Oh god, can I climb up that? Ha 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 ha! Climbing up her puke. Makes perfect sense, don't question it. Tremendous! Ooh, it's called SciComm. That's like saying Soho.
It's kind of you to say so, Propagable.
I'm glad they're there. The rabbit bosses are still there. You know, it kind of adds the context that these guys are more well thought out. Climbing up a wave of vomit. Ah, now it's all twisty. It's trixier. Nice. This game is great.
So how are you liking the Mario Odyssey? Still good?
This game is great. It's very different from all the other Mario games. It's more discovery focused. Like, the game's not particularly challenging if you're just doing the main stuff. In fact, it's almost not hard at all. Whereas, like, Mario 64 is actually pretty tricky to beat. The tricky stuff is if you do the optional content and get all the bonus moons. Which is a neat way to do it. It's like, if you want it to be hard, then you just explore the whole level. If you just want to see the game and discover stuff and be like, oh, now I turned into a fireball, that's crazy. Oh man, the bird is puking sugar water on me. I have to climb up the sugar water. That's awesome.
Oh, so, if dark matter's a particle, and we don't know if dark matter's a particle now, so, dark matter's all hypothetical, but if a dark matter's a particle, then it's hypothesized to be its own antiparticle.
Which is important to your research specifically.
Correct, yes, because then when the dark matter runs into another dark matter, they annihilate.
Mm-hmm. Which is why they're so spaced
now,
out.
You're going to ask me, why do they have to be their own antiparticle? And I'm going to be at a loss to try to figure.
Because that's what needs to happen for there to be a gamma ray for you to look for in space, right?
Well, I think it's also because.
Or is there an actual theoretical basis
dark matter
for that?
candidates in supersymmetry, and there might just, in order for it to be stable, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's why she's looking for these extra gamma rays. So we know where all these gamma rays are supposed to come from.
It's similar to a neutral pion. And a neutral pion is also its own antiparticle.
Oh, that's an actual thing that actually is its own
that.
antiparticle?
They're like, boom, like decay, so they almost never... It's
so
hard to get them.
The particle theory of dark matter says that there's a lot of dark matter, but it's super diffuse. It's spread out, right? Like there's a huge space between individual particles.
What, dark matter?
Yeah.
It's a big fluffy cloud.
Big cloud where none of them are near each other.
One of those things where you're not even sure if you're in a cloud.
Mm-hmm.
But that's true, Leon. There is antimatter that's not dark matter. For example, positrons. Positrons are positively charged electrons, because antimatter has opposite charge.
What's the difference between regular particles and regular antiparticles, and why is that plausibly not the case with dark matter? Yeah, so like a positron and a...
Right, okay, so one, the dark matter can't be charged.
Okay.
So it can't have a charge like an electron or a proton. And so if you think about the supersymmetric partners of the protons and the electrons, they're all going to have a charge.
Okay.
So they can't. So the dark matter has to be some combination of these fundamental particles. Kind of like how a proton is a combination of quarks. And it has to be a combination such that it's neutral.
Okay.
And so that's why I compare it to a pi zero, because a pi zero is neutral.
What the? Why does he have a giant evil... That's like a Dark Souls dragon. Why is that rendered so well? With goofy Bowser on top of it in his wedding costume. Plumber boy. Hey, he's a plumber man. He's been doing this for like 30 years.
Grilled stuffed burrito.
Suddenly Bahamut. A grilled stuffed burrito. It is awesome, I just wasn't expecting it. This is after the weird, ultra-colorful food world. Dark matter doesn't have any regular matter in it. It's its own thing.
It's its own thing. But that it can interact with regular matter through gravity.
Oh my god, this zone is awesome. It looks like Dark Souls. Wow. Right after that super colorful stage. It's with the evil swords everywhere. This is so cool. Yeah, right after syrup lava. Like I just climbed up a wave of syrup vomit from an evil bird. Whoa. Oh, this is too rad. The Dark Souls of Mario.
You died.
It's a good kind of tone whiplash though. I'm okay with it. Wow. So I can see where he's targeting, which I appreciate.
That's not a rabbit.
No, it's not.
You said you fight the rabbit bosses as Mario.
That's true. This is the first boss I think that's been just Mario. Okay. Is that a weak point? Thanks, Cappy. He still does look a little doofy. He's much more serious looking than all the other bosses in the game up to this point. I think we're okay with the Large Hadron Collider. You know, plenty of people who work at CERN.
That's true. I got my logic mixed up there.
Dead Cells? No, is it good? I love that I'm running around as this little chef, too. Like, the only better costume here would be the Hawaiian shirt. Oh man, pattern's starting to get pretty crazy. Little poison things. Whew.
Kick your ass.
Nice. Yeah, what's Dead Cells like? I've never heard of it. Is it 3D, 2D?
We've got this, Marstead.
You defeated.
First try.
I wonder if there's the rest of a stage here. A roguelike Metroidvania. I like both of those words. Although I've only played a few roguelike games. I think it's really easy to do a roguelike wrong, if that makes sense. Hi! How's it going, Giant Amy?
Hey!
We can fix the Odyssey now. I can't do the rest of this rad stage, but that might be all that's here. Is there anything else to do in the crazy Dark Souls stage, or is that it? I mean, that was rad, but I can see them not wanting to spend a ton of time here. Metroidvania, roguelite, Dark Souls. Well, I'd say that Rogue Legacy is Metroidvania-ish, I guess, kind of. Kind of get at abilities that unlock. You scroll through the stage, up, down, left, right. It's profile view, not top down. A couple more moons, but not many. Okay. You excited for fancy dinner tonight?
Yep.
I'm going to this super fancy place in Santa Fe called Sazon. You can probably Google it to see the menu. It's a special occasion place, just kind of celebrate everybody being in Los Alamos now, starting back to streaming, Andrew being back at work. Your parents sent us a nice gift card for it because it's not cheap. But it's the only place I've ever had fancy Mexican food.
Me too.
Like super duper fancy Mexican food in Santa Fe. So if you ever visit Santa Fe, you should check it out. It's Sazon. If you ever visit Santa Fe and it's like your wedding anniversary or something, your wife's birthday, don't just go to go. First time I beat that boss, I was swearing in his head for moons before I grabbed the multi-moon. Fell off and had to beat the boss again. Nice chaos. Ooh, Bowser's Castles. That's interesting. They did this surprise Asian theme in Breath of the Wild as well. Kakariko Village was very, like, Eastern themed. So I like the Bowser Pagoda. It's cool. Dark Souls has a presentation. Dark, desolate, medieval-ish, horror-ish. Yeah, that's fair. I might need to actually make a stack of these guys. I accidentally killed one of the Goombas, so if I needed exactly the number of Goombas, which is probably going to be the case, we'll see. I think I have 9. Yeah. Womp womp. Bummer. Oh well. Can't get these coins, though. On a complete waste. I like to see more games just borrow the stamina idea from Dark Souls. It helped Castlevania Order of Ecclesia a lot to balance a lot of the weapons and abilities.
Alright, I'm going.
Okay.
Bye,
Thanks
everyone.
for hanging out. See you next time.
Hey, Jay.
Interesting. It's a pretty simple effect. Ah, okay, it's a woodpecker. That's cool. Outside of our house is made out of wood, and we have a pesky woodpecker. They're really loud. If they're like knocking on the side of your house, it sounds like there's someone at the front door knocking. It's so loud. Let me fix the camera real quick here. 1 sec. Not that much fix. Let's chill that out a little bit. I remember the first time we heard it, I was really freaked out. Like, is there somebody like knocking on the door and running away, like ding dong ditching? Oh, I can flick like the previous stage. That's clever. So they prepared me for flicking up a wall with the fork people. Now I have more control over it. That's awesome. Pokio. Yeah, passive storytelling. It's where it's at. It's just my personal preference. Less cutscenes, less dialogue. Is it the kind of game that on your first playthrough you probably won't really perceive much of anything about the lore? I feel like all the Souls games are like that. You kind of need to go on a wiki binge after you beat it to understand what the hell happened. I love the little sound effect when you do that. It's cool. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick. Not that way. That's not the way to go. First try. Alright. Bye, Kai Mom. Thanks for hanging out. It's good seeing you, as always. Sleep well. Between spinies, that's fair. First run in the game will take less than 10 minutes, but then you'll die and start over from the beginning. Whoa! A little stamp thing I can climb on, that's cool. Okay. Oh, I thought I had to wait stand still longer than I actually did. Alright, that's cool. Yeah, Hollow Knight's Dark Souls-ish. Mostly in its storytelling style. Its difficulty a little bit. But you can pretty much play through all of Hollow Knight and have no idea what the hell's going on. So, as much story as you want to get. Marty? You okay, Marty? I don't have a cat cam, but he's sitting underneath he was just like completely still. You still alive there, buddy? You're just very sleepy. Alright. I feel like I've gotten all of the obvious wedding gear, so I'm curious, like, whether this is the end of the game proper, if this is Bowser's Castle will be the ending, and then the rest of it will just be free play. Because that seems like a fairly decent duration. I know I heard that this game is being really aggressively speedrun right now, right? It's broken some records as far as number of people running it, or number of runs completed, I should say. Which is cool to hear. That means that it kind of gets that middle ground where you can play it for 100 hours if you want to get everything, or you can speedrun it in an hour or so. Or a casual main game playthrough will not take you terribly long. Can I possess those bombs? Not like that. Can't knock them back. I wonder if I can possess one of the woodpeckers and knock them around. Yes, I can. Okay. Well, that's only the main game, right? I could make it way longer if I choose to get everything. That's actually not out of line with some of the other Mario games, like Mario 64. I think we beat that in the 24-hour Mario stream forever ago. So it must have been less than 8 hours. And granted, I was really familiar with the game, and that helped, but... There's gonna be another one of these out here somewhere. There it is. To walk all the way back, but that's not a big deal. Billiards. Alright. Galaxy was a little bit longer in the main game, but I think a lot of that just had to do with that kind of janky Wii-era game design strategy from Nintendo. You know, where they would interrupt the gameplay a lot. It was the same problem with Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is long as hell, but it's not really because the game has that much content in it, although it does have a decent amount of content. Skyward Sword is probably the worst for that. Skyward Sword is, I think, still the longest Zelda game if you're trying to play it as fast and efficiently as possible. And the main reason for that is just like dialogue, cutscenes, the game interrupting gameplay, UI crap. And Mario World, if you play it efficiently, is what, less than 20 minutes? If you know all the Star Road warps. I think I did that when I streamed it, actually. Should go back and do a second quest. Okay, let's play Mario World for real. I think I did the same thing with Mario 3. Use the 2 warp whistles that somehow that kid from the Wizard found. Unbelievable. Nonsense. Yeah, it seems like Nintendo's learned their lesson. They've gotten really good at making a game that a casual gamer can enjoy and still have it be accessible and fun to a hardcore gamer that's expecting more, you know? I was really worried for a while there that they were going to go the mobile gaming route or the EA route and be like, it's much more profitable. There's this dude here. You don't look like a samurai. Alright. That's cool. See, it makes us more money to focus 100% on the casual crowd, so we're just not going to make hardcore games anymore. I think that's why they've been so good for speedrunning. Cool. And I got a lot of purple coins to go get to buy up all the gear, so like my off-stream playthrough of this is going to be a lot of fun to 100% everything. That looks really cool. I'm excited to see the 2D sprite version. And the Mario 64 speedrun is still interesting to watch, right? It's not like the, what is it, the Ocarina of Time speedrun, which is super boring, because it's just a bunch of glitches to skip to the end of the game, you don't actually play it. I heard that finally the main speedrun category for that was the 100% mode. That's really cool! That's awesome! The little screen folding out, wow. This game is great. I was not expecting that. Sonata Clan helmet? That's pretty neat. That's so neat. Wow. This game really likes to do that too. This is what I mean about Super Mario Odyssey being a discovery-based game. Honestly, Breath of the Wild is a lot of that too. Breath of the Wild has a solve-it-your-own-way feel to it, which I guess you kind of have in this game. Like, there's a lot of things you can do through jump shenanigans rather than the intended solution. But in Breath of the Wild, it's more so where like every solution feels valid. Glad I could jump to the bottom of that. Taking notes in the folding screen. Nice. Nice screen transitions. Womp womp. Oh man, I gotta use my Stream Deck for sound effects. I didn't even think about that. Could have a little button and just have it trigger Bad Pun immediately. That was really cool. Nice. Super neat. Someone who hasn't played classic Mario. That's a good point. This looks like a... Oh, can I get a Tanuki Mario? This is a Breath of the Wild puzzle. These are the Tanuki statues. It's kind of a cool way to integrate them over here. Yahaha! That would be awesome, Propagable. Totally possible, man. The stuff that Jaden hasn't played, you know? He's born in like 2003. The other day I was like, hey man, you should play Castlevania. Like, he really likes Metroid, it's one of his favorite series. He loves video game music, obviously. I'm like, Castlevania would be up your alley. He's like, I don't know. I don't think I would like that game. Alright, give it a try. I showed him Order of Ecclesia. I thought that was a good start. It's a very pretty game. It's probably the most well-balanced. Because, like, all the Metroid games are really well-balanced. Most of the Castlevania games are not. They're pretty badly balanced, if anything. So I finally got the surround sound set up when we were playing Rock Band. And I used it with the Switch. It turns out the Switch doesn't like surround sound over the Toast Link cable. Like, it won't send all of the channels over, because Kat and Donovan were playing Breath of the Wild, and every time they get a Korok, they wouldn't say Yahaha, and it was really bothering me. Like, them saying Yahaha is such an important part of my joy. So I was trying to figure it out, and I finally figured out, oh, that the Yahaha only comes from the central speaker, and if you have the Switch set up to do surround sound over Toast Link, it just doesn't work. So if you ever have that problem where, like, dialogue's not coming through for some reason, that's probably why. I should really figure out what I'm doing with the statue here before I walk around all slowly. I did say Yahaha for them. Yeah, I'm excited for him to try a Symphony of the Night. It's pretty meme-tastic too, which I know Jay likes, so... Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. No Taco Bell's in Austria. But 4 in Finland, you said? All the Broodals? 3 hats. That's an absurd number of hats, sir. Not sure I can abide that. Oh, that's a cool way to do the boss. They've done a good job of stepping up the difficulty of all these rabbit bosses. Ah, so now I know which one's the real one, right? Oh my god. Goodness gracious. Go get that heart before it disappears. Get him! Get him, Mario! There you go, good job. Oh god. So many hats. Oh, that's cool. The radius of that attack changes based on how many hats he has. Take that. Odd job. And Nintendo's always been really good at that. Like, let's introduce a boss mechanic to you. Oh, so we get checkpoints. It's nice of them. They didn't have to do that. This is like a Mega Man style boss rush, right on. You can put... Yeah. Alright, I gotta reflect her little mines at her. Position myself more cleverly. Whoa! They're so emotive too, right? Just fan art of this bunny? No, let's not do that, internet. Come on, guys. It's like, can you not, internet? Nice. Skip a phase when you do that. Oh, that'd be awesome if this is a GDQ. They did that with Breath of the Wild, right? Like, they had a special donation incentive to get a speedrun in. This seems like such a great game to speedrun, too, you know? Nice. Oh, yeah, Soros. Very nice. Bowser statue's super cool looking with the orbs behind it. I bet it'll be a bonus game. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. I feel like it's pretty well routed already, right? I haven't watched anything from it. Yeah? So what kind of movement do they use in the speedrun? Like, is it mostly throwing the hat and jumping after it? Is it rolling, long jumping? Like, what's the most efficient form of locomotion? Showdown at Bowser's Castle. Isn't this speedrun like an hour? And a small amount of change? It's fairly short. I guess it's not as short as Breath of the Wild, right? That's like 20 minutes. All of those together? Interesting. Thanks, Propagable. This is really neat as a final zone. Also, good use of music now. That's satisfying. Oh, the little koi ponds? Wow. This game is something else, man. 90%'s a bit over an hour. I feel like that's doable. Yeah, if it was a really big incentive. I think the Breath of the Wild run was a pretty big incentive. Oh, is there a 100% category? That's 4? Ah, it's metal, so I can't climb into it. Clever. Nice, nice. Hey, Rad, what's up? Oh, they don't have Save the Animals anymore. That's surprising. I feel like that's been a thing forever. 100% 6 or 7. Oh, what's the 4-hour category? Aww. Womp womp. Yeah. Oh. Oh. I was gonna say, Cappy, you're not helping, but he totally was. Go get my... Ouch. About to be double ouch. Thwomp, thwomp. Super Metroid's not even on the schedule. Wow. Wow. It's like one of the most famous speedrunning games. It's wild. Come on. Yes, yes. Alright, we'll get him next time. Oops. Ha 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 ha. Nice! That's a cool secret. Nice, very cool. No worries, Cappy. Sorry. You were being helpful. This game has ruined your name. At least if you're watching somebody play it, it's gonna be really confusing. Okay. Hey, it's Captain Toad! Oh, you're afraid of me because I'm a monster. Okay. Sorry, bud. Yeah, it kind of limits what they're able to do if they do the same thing every single year. Tradition argument, right? I suppose that's true. Yeah, you raise a good point, PK Ratchet. More Super Metroid doesn't grow any speedrunning communities, doesn't get anyone interested. Like, the game is so aggressively run and speed and routed that people are competing for probably... oh, there's another woodpecker down there. Bummer. Alright, well, I know for next time. They're competing for very mild gains, right? Like, I'm guessing that someone who beats the world record is winning by like a second or two. How long is the Metroid 1 speedrun? That's a cool twist. Look at them exploring that design space. You stick to walls. What if there's a wall that moves? $15 minutes. Oh wow, that's pretty short. All right, let's not do it that way. Let's do it the hard way, or let's do it the long way, I should say. The easy way. I was trying to do it the hard way. I was punished for my hubris. Depending on the category. I think it's technically not a woodpecker. It doesn't need to fly because it does this, apparently. Yeah? Pit Brigade's Metroid playthrough is pretty awesome. Alright. I keep wanting to... I'm like instinctively pushing the stick to move slightly over to the side, and it's making me jump. I need to wait longer. There we go. Let's just wait. Have patience. Pretty sure Japanese woodpeckers can still fly, right? It's just... It's a Mario woodpecker. All bosses warpless is 12 minutes. Really? That's pretty tight. These NES games are impressive how much depth you can fit into what ultimately, once it's been optimized, is a fairly small amount of content. Sure, yeah, right. There's such a high barrier to entry, everyone assumes that you know every trick. Who's gonna help you? That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I didn't think about that. It's a good reason to exclude it. It's a good reason as any. 100-pound woodpecker. Have patience. I've been trying that with Cat and Donovan's baby Cameron. Trying to teach her colors, and she hates it. Like, she likes ABCs, and she likes counting. She likes animals and animal sounds. She does not like learning colors. She's 2 as of December 22nd. Although she was born a couple months, 3 months premature. Counting without colors. She's funny when she counts too. There's certain numbers that she doesn't like to say. She'll say them, she knows them. She's just like defiant. Say 1, 2, 3, 5. like she's seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Oh, that's awesome. That was a cool little long hallway there. And I go back, get the long hallway song. The special camera angle when you get here. Be a programmer rather than an artist, right? She's got Jade's ear for music. Like, it seems like she might have perfect pitch. It's hard to tell with a baby, but she's very visibly annoyed by Discord.
You know what that is? It's a long hallway.
It's not gonna happen. Just go.
You know at the end, right? It's the boss. You ready? Let's go beat it. Finally, it's the long hallway at the end again.
She's afraid about 789. Only 3 coins there, just break that. Pretty short. I've only had a couple long hallways that were long enough to run out that entire song without walking. There's one in Dark Souls 2. It was pretty long. You're too late. On the moon? There was a good one in Pillars of Eternity. I like when they use it for storytelling. Like there was a pretty good one in Life is Strange that was all storytelling. Always look on the bright side of life. Whoa! Whoa! This is pretty sweet. Never actually seen any of the cutscenes. They're pretty sweet looking. Can I get... Ah, I was gonna say. That would be cool. If they kept up the theme from the level, right? That'll teach you. Tell him, Cappy. Oops, that was a waste. I love it's like a Zen garden, too. Whoa! Wow, this is an awesome boss fight. Cool. I thought I was gonna have to fight him. Rabbits are clearly from the moon. He's a little bit faster now. You can see where he's slamming his foot. I gotta do both legs separately? No, it's a different solution now. And part of it's metal. That's clever. It's the same boss. Kill the animals. Japanese folklore, there's a rabbit on the moon. Oh, did he just use a star on his legs? That's cool. Interesting. Clever. Oh, that's interesting. I gotta get the legs to step on those, probably? No, still have to shoot them. Nope, it's still just the bombs. Okay. Those are just an additional hazard, it looks like. Japanese see a rabbit in the moon, others see a man in the moon. I see. Shit. Missed. Next time, Gadget. This game's really good at the little indicators for where things are going to land. Not every game is great at that, you know? Oh no! Whoops. Oh! I thought I couldn't grab onto those metal pieces, but maybe I can. Nice. We can do this. Chungy. This is such a sweet boss. I don't know, this game might have the best boss fights in Mario history. I mean, I guess fight me on it if you can think of a better one. They're really good though, and they're different enough. It's not just a bunch of Boom Boom variants. I feel like most Mario games are basically, they just reduce to Boom Boom. Oh yeah, Mario RPG is pretty good. I'll give you that. I guess it's different enough though. They don't really have, I guess they do have some mechanics, huh? Like Bellamy from eating you at the right times. Ah. No! Nice. Nice. They're trying to stop Mario from enslaving the world with his ad technology. Pretty much, Namaku. You got it. Alright. That's a cool way to go out. It's Metal Gear Solid 3 style death. Rabbits and hats have a long-standing rivalry ever since the magician debacle in the early 20s. They're probably fine. The number of times we've immersed Bowser in lava. He's come back as a skeleton monster and then has been fine. And I guess quality of final bosses... I need 8 more. Oh, I have, okay. Quality of the final bosses I think would be a different metric, at least as far as I would rate it, compared to quality of all the bosses in the game. There's some games that are just really, really tight as far as overall boss quality and then have a really weak final boss. And the opposite happens often too. Platform bosses tend to not fit the core mechanics of the game well. Like having a random stealth section. I can hear that. That makes sense. So when you basically make the boss into a level, like we did with the octopus boss and the rabbit boss right there, climb it like you've been doing in the rest of the stage. That's why. Chase him all the way to the Moon Kingdom. Of course there's a Moon Kingdom. Kitties. They're sleeping under one of my stream lights like it's a like it's the sun in a window. Hold on, I might see if I can do this without disturbing them because they're being really cute. I gotta get the cat cam set up. Maybe I'll do that for tomorrow's stream since it's clear they hang out nearby. It's messy down here, so bear with it. Aww. Hey Marty. Hey Ben. You guys like the anti-shadow light? Is it nice and warm down there with all the scary cables? Ben hears something that might be food. I think Donovan's home soon. Already. Oops. What's up?
With my work laptop, do you remember the little thing that's the Ethernet?
Yeah, it was in the bag.
No.
It was definitely in the bag, 100%.
The power support.
No, the Ethernet thing was 100%. I'm positive I put it in the bag. Did it maybe fall out in the car?
It might have. Let me check. Because I need that.
Ben's gonna yank the cables, I know, right? Cute kitties. Oh, does a little M icon mean that I got 100% of the moons there or something? Oh no, that's where I am now. Never mind, I'm a moron. Fix this. I've had the vision of the Monado where the cats hit the power switch, right? Hasn't happened yet, but one of these days. Hey! Dress up as Cappy for our final adventure. That makes sense. I'm really feeling it. Glad to be back streaming. I just had the vision of the Monado. And have most of the people know what the hell I'm talking about. It's Xenoblade Chronicles.
Alright.
It was in the car?
Yep.
Alright, Dylan was right.
Yeah.
Andrea's usually right. Joke I say is that there's the Being Right Olympics, and it was just scheduled, and I won, obviously. And Andrea practices a lot for the Being Right Olympics, which is when she's right. But she only gets it right during practice. She never lands it during the multi-annual Being Right Olympics. I haven't played Xenoblade 2. I heard it was pretty good. I guess it's very similar to Xenoblade 1. It has a lot of the same problems, right? Where it's like pretty grindy and the party members are super chatty. Oh, that's rad. Of course it's low gravity here. Oh, this area is so cool looking too. This is awesome. But it looks really pretty and I'm excited to play it at some point. I'm sure it still counts as an awesome game. Who needs air? Not Mario. What an awesome final stage. Can I reset his wall jump in some? I guess he can't wall jump off the same wall over and over in any Mario game. Mario Land 2 callback. Your kind of problems. Grindy, chatty party members. Fair enough. Nice. Oh, this stage is really cool. I love the earth shine in the background too. The problem, hey, I really want to play X game. Yes, that's an everyday problem, Namaku. Hair like Starbits. Jaden. There are many, many games that I'd like to play, but I hold off on it to preserve the blind playthrough. Oh, I thought Jaden was joking. They are actually Starbits. That's cool. And it's the same sound effect for picking them up. That's a cute addition. I like that. Being moons on the moon gives me an existential crisis. Yo, dog. Whoa. That's the first one of those I found all session. The bell ringing is kind of a cool, ominous, awesome looking church in the background. It's very Final Zone looking. Yeah, if Kingdom Hearts 3 ever comes out, I'll probably do like a genre focus, franchise focus, I mean to say. Nice way to tell you can ground pound on that guy. Just to catch up on Kingdom Hearts so we can play 3, because that's a game I'm pretty excited about playing on launch. Probably won't wait for it to get added to the voting spreadsheet. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Jumpy bunny. Goodness. Actually makes him slower as a result if you just chase him on the ground. It's funny. Do you need to play Xenoblade Chronicles 1 to enjoy 2? Or do they take place in the same universe? Or is it just kind of a similar idea? I assumed it was like Final Fantasy style and they weren't directly related. Whoa. Thanks, Cappy. It's a Nintendo. Hey, did you look at this thing we spent a bunch of art assets working on? Probably should. It's a way to show you that flat section down there. Yep. It's Surprised they taught us that so late. Whee! That was awesome. Xenogears, then Xenosaga 1, 2, 3, then Xenoblade. Yeah. Ooh! Oh, you still have the moon physics in 2D, that's awesome. Similar universe, not the same, but not really linked. I like Xenoblade Chronicles. It was a good game. It had issues that I think only really presented themselves to me as a streamer. That if I was playing it like if I were, 14-year-old Marstead, where I really wanted my games to be as long as possible and have as much content as possible, I would have really enjoyed it. But like the way it calculates damage, I think was probably my least favorite thing. As silly as that is, like, level is the most important number when determining your ability to take on an enemy. It's not just your general statistics. So if an enemy is 4 levels higher than you, in Xenoblade Chronicles, it's basically unbeatable. It doesn't matter how good you are at the game. It's just a mathematical impossibility until you grind to level up high enough. And I only really think that troubled me because I felt like I wanted to move along and play the game and not sit on stream grinding the same enemies over and over. It wouldn't have bothered me so much when I cared less about that. Lack of story, I can hear that. We've gotten pretty far in Xenosaga. That game's story is pretty awesome. Like, I didn't appreciate how much I was going to enjoy the story of that game. Oh shit. Don't throw that off the edge. How can I break this? It's got a moon in it. Maybe I need to throw it at these rocks over here. Oh man, I think I just got super lucky with where it landed there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I've never actually beaten Xenogears. I've gotten maybe 3/4 of the way through the first disc several times, but I've heard that about it, that it feels kind of unfinished. Or, like, literally is unfinished, Thanks, Cappy. For the little wah there. Played a lot of games like that. Final Fantasy VIII, actually, the first disc feels really good. It's like in the running to be one of my favorite Final Fantasies, and then you get to disc 2 and it's just weird. And kind of all over the place. Oh, it's really hard to be appropriately leveled in Nier and Witcher 3 without grinding. Yeah. It's a hard problem to solve. Like, if you've ever dorked around in something like RPG Maker and tried to make a balanced game, it turns out it's really challenging. Like, getting the XP curve right so that the player character is strong enough to handle all content without being super over-leveled. Just from fighting the enemies they just run into normally. Like, getting that math right is very difficult. And the only game I can think of that did it perfect was Chrono Trigger. I guess a lot of the main series Final Fantasy games are fairly decent about it, especially like Final Fantasy VI. Not so much in the early Final Fantasy games, like 1 through 4. Starting around 5, Square gets a better handle on it. Chrono Trigger, you can skip a couple enemies or over-level a little bit, and it doesn't feel like the game is made too hard or made trivial. Do any side stuff, you out-level the main content. Ah. Yeah. Or just not having levels at all. Yeah, like, levels are great. They make me think of RPGs. They make me think of Dungeons & Dragons. So it's the source of a lot of video games. They give you a form of progression. Thanks, Eternus. You're back. Appreciate it.
You're super awesome. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's awesome. I like the idea of levels. I like the idea that you can use XP to basically reward the player in a really simplistic way for anything they do in the game. But then again, like I didn't feel like the Breath of the Wild experience was weakened for not having experience points, right? I guess XP is kind of a cheat, shorthand way to gate access to abilities so the game doesn't start out being too complicated. And it would be better to do that more organically than get it behind literal experience points. Hey, thanks, Elias, for the host. How have you been? What have you been playing? Okay, let's try that again. I think we just gotta do a long jump to hit both of them. Nice. No, how does Dungeon World use XP? Is it the one where it's really simple? Like you get XP when bad things happen? Thanks, Kami. Appreciate it.
Good
to be back.
You're super awesome.
I could get used to these happening on a more reasonable cadence, right? When we were only streaming like once a month as a guest stream, and just have like 20 minutes of it at the beginning of the stream. You get 1 XP when you fail a roll. Yeah, I like that. That's kind of similar to my sphere point system in my Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I like making players excited for failing. And it makes more sense, right? Like, you learn things when you fail, you don't learn things when you master them. So it's kind of weird that our basic system of XP is, let's reward you for doing something successfully. I don't know if that's applicable to every kind of game, I guess would be the problem. But it's certainly a cool idea. Whee! Let's see where the Starbit shop is. I'm kind of glad that they force you into this costume when you come here. At least for the first time, maybe they let you change it when you come back later after beating the game. It would be kind of silly if you were here in the Hawaiian shirt. XP is also a way to get around difficulty balancing. It's too difficult, you have to grind more. Right, yeah, and that's kind of the Dark Souls solution, right? Like, Dark Souls doesn't have a difficulty setting, but it kind of does, because you could always grind if you're having too much trouble with something, and it won't fix the game, it won't make it trivial, but it'll make it easier. Greetings, traveler. That's funny. Huh. Is that all for him for now? I think do what you must. I took that to mean like go ahead and destroy me, but maybe I need to have a power or something to do that. Okay, fair enough, Kabi. Yeah, mute the tab rather than the game, I guess. Appreciate it. The hole back in there is real deep. Oh, that's kind of terrifying. Aliens built ancient Egypt. Whoa! Underground moon caverns. Alright, go back to the normal gravity settings. Awesome Final Zone music, as always. Is this game Koji Kondo? Or is he kind of retired from game music? Is he kind of taking the Nobuo Uematsu approach of just doing like one song? Cool. Nice. Working space heater hype. Ah, cool. Egyptians got to the moon first. There you go. This game is too good, man. That's satisfying feeling. Nice. Nintendo's gotten really good at making things feel satisfying too. It's kind of a hard thing to quantify in video games. I'd say it's like how visceral a game feels. It's cool how they're bringing back a lot of the enemies from earlier. That wasn't what I was expecting to happen. Whoops. It has a good final stage feeling to it, right? Whew. Keep moving. It's listed as a supervisor. Ah, okay. 2 other composers! Whew. Good God. Oh God. Alright. Once you fall, it's bad news bears, Roger. That was hubris and greed for those coins that got me killed. Oh no, I did exactly the same thing! Dang it, Bobby! Alright. We don't need coins. Who needs coins? What is this? I guess there's probably something that requires a ton of coins in the end game. Just the yellow coins. Lava spat. There we go. Alright. I also don't need to be constantly accelerating, but that breaks my Mario rule of always be holding the run button. Always be running. Oh yeah, this guy again. It's cute. Oh, I have to take this off to run. Oh, I see. Okay. Dang it, Bobby. I have a toe. Right. Playing like I have a Toho hitbox. Not quite. That was a cool little puzzle there. I already got the star bits, so I didn't have to do it for real and survive the stage. There we go. Cool. I don't think Koji Kondo was in Skyward Sword, and aside from, he may have done Ballad of the Goddess. In fact, I think he did. But the rest of that game's soundtrack really suffered, I felt like, for the lack of good music. I think Skyward Sword is the weakest music of the entire Zelda series. Okay. Yay, football guy. This guy's new to this stage, right? Or if he was in another stage, I didn't find him, I guess. That's delightful. He did the prologue as well. Okay. So I know no spoilers, but I feel like I'm really close to the end of the game. We have about 30 minutes left in stream. Is it conceivable that I could beat this game in 30 minutes? I just like to be prepared I said Andrea and I are going, and Kat and Donham are going to a fancy dinner tonight. But I want to make sure we leave on time for it. So you can go ahead and tell me, even though it's kind of a spoiler. I could? Okay. Thanks. I will go for it then. I don't have a lot of time to go over with, but I can probably go over about 20 minutes and still be okay. Keep the star bits. Stop wasting lives to get star bits. It would probably help. Yeah, Skyward Sword soundtrack is okay. It's just like, I feel like there's not really any memorable melodies to it, right? Like, a big part of the game is you have to build the melody of the hero. And all those songs you pick up are completely, I don't remember any of them. Whereas, like, virtually every other Zelda song sticks out in my head really well. Take a few minutes in a future stream for post-game content? Okay. Maybe I'll do that then. So maybe I'll just stop on time whether I'm beating it or not, and be prepared to do that as just a follow-up, wrap-up Mario Odyssey stream. Maybe mix it in with a little bit of Zelda. Well, Breath of the Wild had pretty minimal story, right? I think that was by design. I like the minimalist approach to music too. Wasn't this the first boss in the game? Oh, shoot. Got you in the face! Wait, really? Did you guys lose sound? Anyone else lose it? Okay. Well, it pulls her at you too. Odd Job was the first one. Just like that. Oops. She's mad. All right. All the moon bunnies are down. She's got jiggle physics. These are consistent with its usage. Good night, Moon. Right. Okay. I feel like this is more of a long hallway than the last one. It's got the carpet and everything, so we'll play it again, and it's quieter, which is nice. So you get one more.
You know what that is? It's a long hallway. You know it's at the end, right?
New camera angle, that's cool.
You ready? Let's go beat it. Finally, it's the long hallway at the end again.
Gotta look around the back for a secret moon. What an honor.
Right this way, can't let him slip away. Come and join me in the long hallway, hallway, hallway. It's the long hallway, hallway, hallway. The long. That's a pretty cool trope.
Is it another frog? Oh, that's awesome. I could do a long hallway explained video. Do that for April Fool's this year, right? Instead of Brostead. Just do a clickbait YouTube channel. Oh, that's cool. Nice. Pretty sweet. Oh, can I like sneak in here? Is that the intended way to get in? Oh, okay. More long hallway. Oh, this area is super cool. It looks like Mirror's Edge. It's very ominous. No, we'll definitely do Brostead again. Cat will be here this time to like manage it so I don't almost die. I know, right? That's cool. Anyone object? Pretty awesome. The ring. Oh. Oh, they forced them all to come here. It's a great way to bring back all the characters. Wouldn't it be great if she was finally just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna marry Bowser. It'll make my life easier. He's not that bad of a guy. He clearly really likes me. Smaller amounts. Yeah. Get out of here, Mario. Steel-toed wedding shoes? Thanks, Cappy. Oh, he tried. Yeah, promises of cake. Oh, cool. This is a cool final arena. Working on it. Tacky even for you. There was one Bowser fight earlier in the game, right? I don't remember how it went. It was so many months ago now. He's got a hat too! Nutty! Oh, that's right. That was in the previous fight. Like the fisticuffs Bowser there. Nice. Oh, the spiky walls in the back. That's brutal. I think I only did one. Maybe I did two. This fight is really pretty. It's graphically very impressive. Clever. Those ones I guess I can... Oh, I need to finish attacking to get him to do his tail spin. Okay. Roger, roger. Can't punch those back anymore. Those ones I still can, though. Ooh, double jump. Okay. Double spin, you got it. That makes sense. Probably be 3 next time, or he'll change it up. Get out of the way. Yeah, Sunshine was the one against... Was it Bowser Jr. at the end? I haven't played Sunshine since it came out. If I played it on stream, it would be practically blind. Now that I think about it more. It's a cool way to up the difficulty in this fight. Oh, shit. No. Oh, they have hearts in them. Alright, that's critical to know. Oh my god. Well, I'm back to where I started. Bowser in a hot tub, that's right. Oh, bummer. Alright, we'll try again. Wonk wonk. I was trying to get more hearts, but it's possible only one of the hats had a heart in it. Well, I guess we get to see how it plays in on the second attempt. Bogus. Alright, that went much more efficiently than last time. GDQ's on the 7th? Oh, I didn't realize it was so soon. I guess that makes sense. Okay. Give me your hat for realsies. The non-flaming balls drop hearts sometimes? Okay. Keep that in mind. Nice. Okay. Alright, we're back to where we were. It's looking like Mario Odyssey's not on the schedule, but it seems likely that it would be a bonus, like, incentive game, like Breath of the Wild was at SGDQ last year. Kinda don't want to waste the heart if it's in there, you know? It's throwing a lot faster this time. Does he change it up this time, or is it just 3 spins? 3 spins. Might still be a change up, though. Well, that's a little bit of a change up there. Nice. He lost his outfit. Hit him so hard he went naked. Yeah, we were talking about the lack of Super Metroid earlier. It seems like it's not a bad decision, given that Super Metroid is such kind of a tapped-out speedrun. It's been solved, right? It's good use of Peach's theme. Yay! Oh, do I get to possess Bowser at the end? Nani? He doesn't have a hat on. It's not Bowser doing it. Who is it? Oh, we just gotta get out of here. I do not. Mario Odyssey's pretty optimized by now, isn't it? I guess it's been out for longer than Breath of the Wild was at SGDQ. This is awesome. Fantastic. It's just the natural thing to do, right? Oh, the little 64 Bowser. That's awesome. What a cool way to wrap it up. That's me. This is great. Oh, that's perfect. What a brilliant way. After the game has been... That's like the perfect way to end this game, with everything it's been building up to, with the Cappy mechanic. I love it. Okay, so stepping on those causes them to start to fall. I got it. Oh, that's sweet. Shoot little fireballs. Do speedrunners play this with the Joy-Cons to get the extra abilities, or does it not really matter? I guess they would, because some of them are speed-based, huh? Making a little bridge. Oh, this is rad. Oh, I love it. Oh, we get to see it as he tries to fit in. This reminds me of those Michael Fantasy videos. The Japanese guy does. This is so sweet. I was not expecting this at all. This might be the coolest ending sequence. Well, in a Mario for sure. I'm trying to think if I can think of another game that competes right now. It's got recency bias in its favor. Best escape from a load-bearing boss ever. You become the load-bearing boss. Nice. Cool music. Should have gotten that heart. Oh well. Okay, so I have to knock all these things into this, I think. And they've spent this stage teaching me about the platforms falling away. So I know why it's happening now. It's a pretty sweet song, too. I usually don't care for lyrics in my video game music, but it sounds neat. Yeah, that New Donk City sequence is pretty awesome. This is too rad. Alright. Quick, get to the middle. I'm on it. Taking a big... Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it! Ha 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 ha! Okay, Bowser's still with us. And Peach. Nice. Shadow Claw said a little less J-pop at the end. Oh, that was delightful. Fantastic. That's right, she can just do that. I never finished Geist, but Geist was all about possessing enemies, so I imagine the final boss was pretty cool. That was a really awesome way to do that. So we gotta get Mario's real hat back. Convenient magical portal. I'm glad that was in there. You give Bowser a lot of shit. You can't say he doesn't have foresight. He knows that he's a load-bearing boss, so he builds ways to get out. Aww. Should take both of them. Listing them would be spoilers. Alright. Peach doesn't need either of us. She don't need no man. The equal scoring. So does the music just, is there an actual time limit in the segment where you're guaranteed to finish it at a certain time? Or did it secretly fade into a different verse once we got into that cutscene? That was pretty rad. Perfect timing today, too. To die on the moon. Wow. Yeah. I haven't had a video game ending make me say wow just to the whole thing in a while. That was pretty awesome. A lot of that just because I've been on hiatus for 4 months, but... I don't know what got cleared, but you guys can discuss stuff in hide first before you put it in the main chat. Folks can tell you if it's fair to share. We'll see what time it is. My wife and I and our family guests, Price family, we're going out to fancy dinner here soon, so I can't stick around super late. See what time it is at the end of the credits. I can see if I can boot up the game and look at some of the post-game stuff folks were talking about. this game was awesome. I stick by what I said before, that I feel like this game is to the rest of the Mario series as Breath of the Wild is to the Zelda series. It's kind of its own thing. It borrows a lot of Mario ideas, but it's not really fair to compare it to like Mario 64. It's very different. It's more exploration and discovery. I'd say discovery over exploration driven. Like, what's the next power that you're going to get, and how is the game going to have you use those powers? And it's less about solving tricky puzzles and doing tricky jumps in the main game. I think that's kind of a cool engine for Mario. I don't think that Mario as a core series should be a terribly difficult, challenging game. Although it sounds like if you want a challenge out of Mario Odyssey, you do all the bonus moons and you'll get a challenge, right? So it was a pretty hard challenge to rank this up against Breath of the Wild for Game of the Year. I mean, as goofy as it is to try to do a Game of the Year and say that, like, you know, Breath of the Wild is objectively better than Horizon Zero Dawn and objectively better than Mario Odyssey. It's like trying to rank the top 10 guitarists. But, you know, I think they would tie in my book for what I've played so far in 2017. Apparently I need to play Horizon Zero Dawn. I guess that was also a nominee, right? And it's supposed to be super awesome. There's kind of a lot of the similar things that Breath of the Wild does. I think 8 hours is a solid core game length for this, too. Horizon did get a lot of awards. I still need to play The Last of Us. I hear that's a great sin as a fan of awesome games. I know a lot of people where that game tops their list.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
Thank you so much for playing my game. No problem, Mario. Happy to help. You talking about Horizon? Yeah, maybe. I had it set aside. I try to use it for extra voting game days. Let's see. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I haven't played Cuphead, but it looks really good. I'll travel to the Mushroom Kingdom. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff that unlocks after you beat the game, so it's good to beat it right away. Oh, cool. Is this like Mario 64 Mushroom Kingdom? That's cute. I saw that cool Cuphead Dark Souls video, which they must have started working on that animation like the day Cuphead launched, because it was really complicated. So many hats to meet. Ah, you can travel new places with more power moons. Okay. Yeah, so we'll check this out for the remaining 10 minutes of stream. I think that timing works out perfectly, huh? It's a nice little post-game bonus. Hats are all the rage in the Mushroom Kingdom. She brought them back so that you can't possess all of us. Just regular coins here. Okay, that's cool. Alright. So sheep with a sparrow makes perfect sense. Don't question it. Every frame of Cuphead was hand-drawn. Wasn't all of, Nice. This zone's pretty sweet. Wasn't all of Hollow Knight hand-drawn as well? Am I remembering that right? Oh, and of course there's a funny puzzle in here. I don't think I can actually gain on him, huh? Unless if I cut some corners along the way. Alright. Gotcha. Nice. Oh, and it's stars. Like it still says you got a moon. They brought back the old music. That's pretty great. That's cool. Power moons come in other shapes. Thanks, Cappy. Alright. This is pretty awesome. I'm a big fan. That's no moon. I'm glad it puts you back in the default Mario costume when you first come here, too. Yeah, it's one of those things where I think it's kind of unfortunate that we as a society are so obsessed with ranking things, because, like, I don't think it's, having not played Cuphead, probably not fair to say that Cuphead is a better game than Hollow Knight. It just happened to come out in the same year. Old school picture match. Sure. Okay. Passing score is 60 points. God, he looks weird without the eyebrows. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Oh, those are the wrong eyes. That's why it looks so weird. Those are Cappy's eyes. Okay. That's my bad. Okay. Okay. Alright. Clearly I wasn't paying attention, right? Glad it doesn't show us the full face, so that would be distressing. You kinda say so, Serp, thanks. Must be the Cappy, I guess. I didn't look closely enough. He was looking like all mad with it, right? And this is gonna be like 30% maybe. I've been pretty garbage at it so far. No, those must be the Cappy eyebrows. I don't even know what Mario's eyebrow. No, I think that's right for Mario. It looks like that's the right shape. Okay, so it's gonna show me the face that I made, presumably, and it's gonna be awful. $59 points! Are you kidding me? Ah! Ugh. 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 59 points. I feel like they must give you 59 points when you lose ever. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, that's weird. I wonder where that sound effect did trigger. Check it in a sec. Bummer of bummers. The Running Man in Ocarina of Time, yeah.
I see.
I see.
I see. I see. I see.
I see. I see.
I see.
It's in here still, isn't it? Come over, yeah. Everyone can do it. Volume's correct. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Did you put a space after it or something, Darkstar? Alright, I'm gonna go see what the shop options are here. They're over by the entrance, right? What do you got for sale, bud? That's cool. I can't afford it, but that's neat. So, like, his costume is Mario 64, or does he look completely like Mario 64 Mario if you get enough coins for that? I won't have time to do it today, but I'll definitely do that off stream. Trying to think, like, what are they gonna put? That's super weird. Who knows? We don't need to go there. Oh man. Should probably go in the castle before we sign off tonight. Let's see, I got 2 minutes left. Go do that now. Looks like I could get enough coins to get that costume pretty easily. What's up? Is Peach in another castle? Haha, okay. Happy as can be and walked off. Nice. Nice! This is pretty awesome. Really cute. Hey, it's Toadette. What are you doing? Achievements. Rescue Princess Peach. Oh, interesting. That's cool. Oh man, yeah, totally beat this game before you try to 100% it. I would hate to have 100%ed it, or like done everything that you could do before the end game, and then gotten to the end and gotten that. That's awesome. This tiara vanished too. Interesting. Interesting stuff, folks. Cool. That brings us to time, folks. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I'm really glad to be back to streaming. Sounds like Andrea had a decent day at work too. Well, hopefully that continues. That will allow streaming to continue indefinitely. Let me save and sign out here and let you guys know what's going on for the rest of the week. Yeah. Righto.